Hey everyone, welcome to the Assassination of Primarch Magli Blackice. This is our slightly reduced cast right now. We'll have some more people joining us slightly later though, and all that good stuff. And with that, let's just go check in and see what you guys are attempting to accomplish today. What are your goals? What are your beliefs? What do we want to do today? Sorry about that clap. I will stop having the device that causes me to fidget and makes loud noises. That was wrong with me. I just fidget with it. Sorry about that. Cool. Let's dive on in. Sarah, how you doing?
I am doing good. How are
How's
you?
I am well. How's Thomas, and what does he want to accomplish today?
Oh, and as far as his belief, I'm just trying to pull it up here. So I have it all written out already.
Ooh,
Okay.
fancy.
So, uh, last time we ended with that kind of group conversation,
Mm.
and I know that uh, Georgie, that's his name, mentioned Fearless a little bit and like
Mm.
his mental state and everything that's happened with him.
Mm.
Um, and my belief is that it is antithetical to Thomas to leave someone insensible and just like locked away. He regards Samhain as a budding authority in keeping voices at bay
Mm.
and will work to find a way to break through to Fearless to get his perspective on the quill and maybe some more information on the situation in Caprina, hopefully with Samhain's help.
Interesting. Okay, that'll be fun and intriguing, and we will see how that goes. Faye, what about Juniper?
Um, okay. Ah. Okay. We got a little mixed up because we're in the same room.
Mm.
Okay, Juno has the same problem she always has, which is must have more power. Um, so because she's power hungry and prideful and all of that. She wants to continue getting into that study. I think that's the key to a lot of what's going on there. So,
Lady Jana's study?
Yeah,
Strakus.
yeah, Lady Gianna Strega. Excellent. Okay, cool. Well, that's it. Let's dive on in. So you guys have just finished your conversation with the Aisha. Um, she is, shall we say, wary, but kind of needs something to push things in a direction or another while in this city. And so has agreed to a temporary alliance with you. An alliance that you have had some trepidations about, some warnings about, as it were. Um, Specifically, Lady Gianna Strega's spirit has warned you against this. Um, and then also, like, her interests are not exactly yours. And she has made a very specific and clean cut request of you that you um, stop the maelstrom somehow. Um, so let's pick up there. So the meeting is over, and people are sort of milling about and talking. You see groups of these people in various positions, and they are milling about in groups of two and three, and maybe on a large side five, um, and just sort of talking to each other. Hush things. You see a lot of people looking at you guys out of the corner of your eyes. You see um, them just some of them seem to be doing work immediately, right? Going into discussing tactics and strategy for if this is going to be anything, but there's sort of a stall going on, right? They can't really do anything, really. They've tried, and so you need to do something. Um, Oceana is just smiling warmly and very confidently.
Yeah, I don't need to insight check shit.
Yeah.
Terrible child.
Sure.
Oh, she's doing well for herself. Well, look, if there's gonna be like some time where we're, milling around and waiting for people to make a move, why don't we get some stuff done in the city first?
I absolutely agree. Pardon me for one moment. Can I? Georgie was like kneeling kind of by the dais where the Aisha was set up.
Mhm.
Can I do an insight check to kind of see what that resembles? Is this like a student teacher thing? Is this like a different thing?
Yeah, why don't you roll an insight check?
In addition to being in Roll20, I probably should have had his character sheet up. That might have been really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just tired, low blood sugar.
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, Georgie seems, he exudes an aura of calm. And he sees you looking at him. And he walks over to you.
Okay. I'm glad you came over. I wasn't sure if I was going to be jumping rank or the chain of command or whatever. If we actually had a question for you.
You can talk.
Wonderful. Just out of curiosity, if we are intending to make a couple stops in the city, is there anything that you've observed in particular? I mean, obviously you're capable of making your way here and there. Are there times when more violent factions tend to be out? Are there ways that, it's generally effective to disguise oneself? I mean, how can we get from point A to point B with as little fuss as possible?
Where is point B?
At this point, we need to get back to the docks somehow, but I was thinking of stopping back at that smithy on our way.
The smithy where we met?
Hmm.
Sure. I'll take you there. Do you have a problem with that?
No, Thomas is just turning to Juniper and being like, "Do you have anything else that's going to be keeping you here? Should we wait around or all go together?"
Let's all stay together. I'm gonna look at.
I feel best about that as well.
Shiana on that one.
I'm happy to stay together.
Wonderful.
Yeah, no. I'll keep you company too, I guess. At least until something else is going on. Seems better than letting you guys just wander around aimlessly and poke around and.
No, we greatly appreciate the guidance of someone who knows the city so well. I mean, the way you've explained it, we wouldn't want to be caught out depending on who's roving around the area. Thank you so much for your continued help and protection.
Sure. Happy to I don't know.
Does that mean we'll also be able to count on you if there's a skirmish?
Depends on certain factors, as I've learned.
Oh, wonderful. You look more than capable.
Fighting people that you shouldn't be fighting. Maybe I'll join the other side.
No, the way you've I suppose my hesitance is the fact that if certain groups are sort of stumbling around without their senses, sort of zombie-like, I believe it was described, we definitely don't want to run afoul of anyone who might attack on sight.
Sure, yeah. Cults can do that too, I guess. Or demons. You're not armed, though.
Oh, I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Okay.
Oh no, we're completely helpless.
No one is ever helpless if you can relate to them on their level.
You're funny.
Always have a conversation with people.
You're very funny.
I'll see we're both getting something out of this working relationship already.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Thomas is asking Mercury telepathically to tell Oceana telepathically that we're thinking about leaving if she's wrapped up here too. Oh, and also everyone at the mansion appears safe right now.
Yeah. You hear back from Mercury, and he says, "Boss," she says, "that's fine. She's ready to go whenever." She says,
Did she say that it was my show and that I was running it?
You know, those are similar to words that she said, but she also used a couple of words that are, shall we say, a new and colorful addition to my vocabulary. She wanted me to point out to you that she's here to follow your lead. Boss, sorry.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. And I'm sure we'll put that vocabulary to use at one point or another.
Children, who wants them?
You'd be surprised. You have a few eggs yourself. You get attached. You don't plan to, and then you do.
Speaking of, like, Juno's just like trying to see if like Fuzzball has like the intellect of adult Fuzzball.
Is anyone interested in Fuzzball? Like, is Fuzzball getting any like glances?
Yeah, almost certainly. I think that people are. I mean, but Fuzzball sort of. I mean, from the perspective that they have outside, like, and not being familiar with foxfolk at all, right? It kind of looks like you just have a pet baby fox to them. Like, anyone who knows anything knows that this isn't just a fox, of course, but these people haven't even seen foxes, right? So, weird furry thing that you're holding is sort of their best understanding of it.
So, and you know, she's also just like, oh yeah, you know, well, and just keep making notes in my book as we go.
Sure.
So I might be going a little slower.
Yeah.
And she'll just like stick to the back of the group and just flip the book open and just like rely on Oceana to make sure she doesn't walk into walls.
Thomas is like kind of like blocking the view of her, and he's like, well, shall we head out immediately, or do you need to, how many people will be accompanying us? And just sort of like making logistical small talk to try to distract.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll just do it myself. I mean, Tomas is usually around, not to be confused with you, Thomas, but...
Oh, yes, you're right. This is going to be fun.
You know, he keeps an eye on me.
That's wonderful. Everyone needs someone to help take care of them and vice versa.
Right. Well, but it's good if it's the right person.
Oh, yes. I mean, conditions aside.
Yeah, right. Conditions aside. That's...
Insight check.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
You're supposed to be talking to a book.
Yeah, but I've got a book out.
Means you can listen.
I don't know what that was. That was a 9. That was a nada.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
With that, I will give you a... this fellow has a remarkably good poker face.
Yeah.
Everything about his facial expression seems calculated. He laughs, but like, is it a real laugh?
Yeah.
It's very hard to tell.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm gonna just see if Streka has anything to say.
Beyond her cryptic warning about the Aisha?
Yeah.
Yeah,
to be fair, she could have been a little quicker on the draw with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she said that the Aisha was... What did she tell you exactly? She said
psychic vampires.
Psychic vampire? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that I had said that already. Yeah. Do you ask her a question, or do you just wait for more information?
I think I would ask because it looks like we now have hangers on. Is there a reliable way to her study that we can take without relying on them?
Well, you'll have to get to the underground. You can't get there from the surface, and there's only the one path between the above world and the below world. We kept it that way very specifically so that we could keep things tidy, as it were. I've heard rumors that that the estate has a secret passage between both worlds, but mostly I would encourage you to just walk through the central square and head down. You'll find it's a much better life down there, at least according to my memory.
Okay. Juno doesn't feel like she has a reliable way to express this to the others because there are psychic vampires in their area and psychic. So, okay, she has a plan. Are we gonna head out?
Yeah, I think so. I think we head out. I guess if Nia wants to have Kaz do anything, we can like retcon or something.
Sure. We'll fold Nia in when Nia gets here, of course. I'm not too concerned. I imagine that. I mean, she's been interested in being supportive of you guys, so I imagine that she's being supportive of you guys right now. Okay. So you're headed back to the dock. Is that the plan?
Stopping off at the smithy.
Okay. Yeah. So you stop off. So Georgie takes you back to the smithy where you met him.
Okay.
Did you leave something here? I didn't notice if you did. Pretty slick.
No, I'm hoping someone else might have left something here. I'm sure this place has been picked over for anything of significance long ago. If he left any notes about his work or anything, it's probably long gone, but figured it couldn't hurt to look around.
You're looking for Fearless's stuff?
Yes, anything pertaining to that quill.
Roll a persuasion check. He sighs.
16.
Well, you're looking in the wrong place. Here, come on. And he walks to the back and just puts his hand on a wall, looks back at you, winks and smiles, and then just moves his hand to the side. And it's like the thing that you would have sworn was a wall. This is one of the best constructed false doors they've ever seen. And it just like so silently slides to the side, and you see like a little room with a cot and some books, some papers, some sketches. There's a little candle holder as well, and a ventilation system. It looks like that gets things out of the room, and it's pretty small,
Very
but
important.
like it's good shape. It's very yeah.
Oh goodness, that's wonderful. He's lucky to have such good friends who protect his dwelling like this.
He is not my friend.
Okay, frenemy. We've been through it.
I think it's hard to even call someone a frenemy when they try to pledge your soul to a dark god.
I admit that is a bit of a deal breaker, but people have bounced back from worse.
They've You're saying that people have bounced back from in their friendship after their friend pledges their dark soul to another god and tries to sacrifice them to that god?
I mean, did you ever pledge his soul to anyone?
No.
Or whatever the equivalent would be for things that he cares about.
As far as I know, he only really ever cared about trying to sacrifice us to his dark god of the sea.
Awkward.
Now, see, that's another thing entirely. Where we come from, I mean, the sea god can be summarized with, well, I mean, what would normal? Sorry, I'm stuttering. That's not in character. It's me. Uh, what one would normally think of as a sea god. We have different deities for different things. One of them I serve, and honestly, I'd like to find out more information about that as well. I mean, did he have a relationship with this thing before he started trying to sacrifice people to it, or did that come after? Maybe this thing twisted his mind.
Maybe, but it was before I knew him, apparently.
Hmm.
When we met, I was in a different place in my life. I was, life here sucks, right? I was, doing my best to provide, a little bit of alleviation from some of this shittiness to people. And, he was just a smith. I didn't know about his ambitions, but he owed me a favor for he was one of my customers, shall we say, and he owed me a favor and got into trouble doing it. So I felt like I owed him a favor, sort of. Became this whole favor thing.
And one day he asked for your soul.
No, one day he gave me a pipe as a token of friendship, a gift, and if I hadn't been in the right place at the right time, then the Aishe wouldn't have spotted it and seen it for what it was, which is something that would have sucked out my soul and made me a member of one of those crazy cults out there.
So theoretically, everyone roaming around, like, that's the how and why.
Mm-hmm. It's all Fearless's fault. Well, his and Gianna's.
So theoretically.
Or the demons, depending on how you want to look at it. Or the Black God of the Sea. Fault is such a complicated thing. Really, you can just keep on pulling back if you want.
Well, hopefully, if we break enough eggs.
Some people blame the old Empress.
Oh, undoubtedly. Over the table, like, we would know about how many years, hundreds of years, has it been since 200, like exactly 200?
Just a little over 210, I think, 230. I'd have to pull out the full calendar, and I don't like. That's about right.
I'm gonna have to do brain math for how time works in this place.
Well, Juno's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna just cast a quick spell to see what, some things that might be hidden. And she's going to cast non-detection on herself.
Okay.
Just
non-detection is cast. You are now hidden.
Awesome. Yeah, she just is like, okay, we have to be ultra careful now. But she's not going to tell them that's the exact kind of spell she's doing.
Okay.
But yeah, she will still look around the room, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you roll an investigation check? What are you looking for?
I think she would be looking for anything of an arcane nature, I think.
Yeah.
Go with her strengths. Oh, that's a 5, friends.
That's an insight rather than investigation.
That's an insight.
Why don't you roll an investigation?
Why don't I have investigation?
The bad news is you have no idea what this room is up to.
That's 25.
There you go. That's a better roll. I'll take it. Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of weird things in this room. Calling it arcane in a traditional sense feels weird to you. But you can tell that there are engravings engraved into this forge that are like engravings that prevent failure. They're like telling the forge to make the best quality materials. It's sort of like, it's almost as if like the words themselves are enough to do that. as long as they're carefully etched. So that's one thing that you see immediately. Also, just glancing through his papers, you see that a lot of these papers have sketches and designs for various arcane artifacts, magical swords that will emit, lightning, magical powers that will, magical tools that will make the bearer forever warm, and sketches for something that looks like a quill.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, cheers. This is wonderful.
I'm gonna, real quick, if it's okay. Before I give it out, I'm just gonna be like, oh, some of these look really interesting. Hold on one moment. And she is going to just make a few notes on it in her notebook. From what
Like
she
on the
sees.
quill? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what she sees on the quill. And then pass it on to Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Lady Gianna replies, is that appropriate here, or is it your own notebook?
I'd say it would be. I was thinking of doing a thing.
There's room here for you to do a thing if you have a desire to do a thing. It is entirely up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll use the margin of the book to make a note. Like, not all of it, but just like a minor part of the quill that doesn't have like a major influence on it. Sure. My brain is not working properly right now.
Okay. What's your intent here?
I think what her intent would be to mark the names of some of these things, including the quill and the quill on the top, and then the name of the person who made them underneath. So kind of like an implication of like, this is where we are, this is what we're looking for, kind of thing.
Okay. And you're doing this in the book that you have, that's your connection to Lady Gianna, right?
Yeah, kind of like if someone were scribbling on the margins.
Yeah, sure. Interesting. So your goal is for her to be aware of it, but not necessarily to invite a response.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Thomas, you are handed this piece of paper.
Right. This is wonderful. If you'd rather us not remove anything from this room, we don't have to. Do you suppose I'd be able to copy down what's on here really quickly to be able to go over it?
What's your angle with the quill?
I mean, I tried to be as forthcoming as possible last time. I didn't realize that this might hit close to home with the Smithsonian situation. But a friend of mine is locked away and subject to a great deal of torture. And it's on my account, and I'm the only one who can help him, and he doesn't deserve it. So...
Hold on. Sorry, just for clarity. Your friend is locked away.
It's not that god of the sea or
and
whatever.
So you traveled through the maelstrom to a mythical city to retrieve a mythical artifact for you to save your friend?
Yeah. He's a good friend.
Yeah, he must be. Wow.
Yeah, he's a chillest dude.
That's
He's
That's
trying. He
quite the
tries
choice.
all the time.
Yeah, oh, wow.
But because he pledged himself into it under certain circumstances, there's not really a way for us to get him out of it unless something fundamental about him changes. And he's been laboring under the weight of past decisions he's made and trying to become something better, a better person, a better force in this world, whatever you would call it. And conveniently, you know, well, not conveniently, nothing about this has been convenient, but two birds, one stone, this might help him achieve such a thing and escape his bonds. I mean, I don't know anything about transmutation, Juniper. That might be some class that you've taken or something, but it seems rather transformative.
This is quite the epic adventure that you're on. I used to read these as a kid. I hope that fate doesn't twist the knife or whatever. But sure, no, just take it. I don't care. This isn't. I don't live here. It's not my stuff. All this stuff that's left here, anyways, the stuff that the guards left off when they arrested him.
And they didn't know about this room, I suppose.
Clearly not. It's pretty
He's
well
going
built.
to. Oh, sorry.
It's pretty well built, you have to admit.
No, it certainly is. The defenses here are wonderful. He's going to. Has it been within an hour since they left the ship? Because a lot has happened.
Oh yeah, it's certainly oh yeah, absolutely. Because your conversation with the Aisha was a long conversation. Obviously, we stood in or symbolized it a little bit, but yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's been well over an hour since you left the ship.
Okay, so the flock will have. I don't want to say terminated. We'll have
returned to whence they came.
Returned to Dragon Home, Tiny Dragon Home Base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, this is remarkable. Thank you so much for helping us with this. I'm going to study this. I hope that it'll be a little insightful into the sort of defenses around the thing that we might encounter once we're in there.
Well, if this thing wrote the defenses, then you're not going to be in good shape.
Looking at the paper, I mean, does it seem like this quill can be used to write objects into existence, or is it more metaphysical?
Mm-hmm. Why don't you make an Arcana check?
Oh, good. Those are always an adventure.
Well, 5% random range.
20.
Yeah, you don't have the training to get a full grasp of what this could and could not do.
Juniper!
Okay.
Juniper, you can...
Look at this paper.
Okay, I'm looking at the paper. Okay, let me take a look at this paper.
You can make it at advantage. Tom, you're being helped.
That's a natural 20.
Beautiful. Yeah, this is a quill that concentrates willpower and focus in the art of completely rewriting reality itself. I think that there's a moment here where, Juno, when you're looking at this, that you recognize this as suddenly being, like, pretty likely one of the most powerful things you ever even heard of.
Right. Oh, that will be difficult.
And it's the one, as we know it, that this demon has in their possession. It's been corrupted by the demon or by Gianna or...
I'm gonna cast real quick telepathic bond.
Okay. Who are you including?
Thomas and Oceana.
And Kaz.
And Kaz. And just be like, don't say too much. this is the information. So I gave him the information.
Mm.
The information about how it was corrupted.
No, about like what it's for and that it's exceedingly powerful.
Okay.
Also, please don't forget psychic vampires.
So even before this thing was corrupted, it was theoretically we were correct. It's the most terrifying thing we've ever seen in our lives. Wonderful.
Yeah, what does corrupted mean to you?
I mean,
says Georgie.
It's a word that was thrown around earlier. I assume in this case it means subverted from its intended purpose, which in this case was the enslavement of a lot of people's souls. So one could debate that that would be the corrupted form, but it was, I thought you mentioned it was sidetracked from that to another function or something.
Or cursed.
I mean, it's, as far as I know, it's just really powerful. You've used the word corrupted a couple times, and you probably got that somewhere, and you clearly have some sort of information inside this place that
I mean, no
you haven't
offense.
told me, and I haven't investigated, and whatever, no big deal. But as far as I know, it's just a magic quill. I don't really know anything about it that makes it corrupt, quote unquote. When I think of corrupted, I think of well, I think of Lady Gianna, right, and the various situations she was under. Not something like
No,
Fearless wasn't corrupted from my perspective, at least. He was just bad news.
Always the quiet ones, I suppose.
He wasn't that quiet.
Well, corruption can mean many things.
Yeah, and it's metaphor, and it's real, and blah, 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 and, like, I just don't know. I don't really know what you guys are, So, you're gonna use the quill to save your friend?
Yeah.
And then try to drop it in a volcano or something. This thing shouldn't exist.
Well, you're also gonna use it, obviously, to erase the maelstrom.
You know, that is a good point. I thought we were going to have to negotiate with some primordial sea god, but that would certainly be a faster route.
To
dropping the maelstrom. If this thing can rewrite reality, we could just say, and it was sunny and beautiful over Caprina for, instead of a magic storm.
I haven't actually seen the sun.
My condolences.
I saw a painting of it once.
I mean, people do fascinating things with light and color.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Lots of them.
Well, best not to look straight at it. It'll burn your eyes out. So there's that for starters.
Are there just like a bunch of eyeless people wandering around who just look at the sun too much?
A bunch of people whose sight has certainly degraded if they look at it too much.
Yeah, you'll need to wear glasses that'll really mess up your face.
Interesting. You pulling my chain?
No, it's actually true. You do have to wear glasses if you look at the sun too long.
Huh. Well, can't pull that over on me here, We just know that everything's out to get you some way or another, so you just gotta look out for yourself,
And your friends. I mean, that's why we're here.
Sure.
It's true.
Friends.
It's hard to ask for better.
That's a choice.
I've done the being alone thing. It's not good.
I'm not alone. I look out for my family.
And family is sometimes what you make of it.
Maybe. But I'm just saying, I had 3 people in my life that I thought were friends, and I thought of as friends. And 2 of them betrayed me. And the third basically disappeared. So, friendship is weak sauce in my mind.
Yeah, you've had bad luck.
Wait, who disappeared?
Yeah, I thought it was just. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
No worries. I'm guilty of that all the time.
Strega and the guy with the forge.
Fearless.
Who's the other one?
That's a good question.
I'm looking through the list of Katrina people.
Oh, you know what? Strega actually mentioned it to Juno at one point.
Carmilla, yeah, he was good friends with Carmilla.
Right.
Strega's apprentice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, telepathically, I'm gonna just no, I'm not telepathically gonna say anything yet.
Okay.
Looking around the room, does it look like they're like? Are there areas where there are more like? I don't know. Does anything look like personal items?
This place looks like it hasn't been used in over a year.
Mm-hmm.
It looks abandoned. Are there personal items? Probably not, actually. Fearless was hiding out here. This was someone else's forge. That person left and then died. But Fearless was hiding out here, and they kept all their stuff in the back room. So, no, I don't think so. Probably not. Closest thing you find are the, like, drafting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Real quick question. Do you go down below at all?
Do I go rarely? The demons wander there, and nobles. Take your pick, which is worse.
So it's basically just like Hellscape times 2 down there?
I don't think it's worse. I think it's different.
Okay, well, good to know.
The Viscount used to maintain like a city watch, city guard type, but when we tried to overthrow him, a lot of them died, and a lot of us died, and the Viscount died, and everything just sort of became this weird mess.
Oh. Are people like not allowed down there, or can you just like?
I mean, people go down there. They steal food and the like from down there sometimes. And the people from down there come up here and steal food from us sometimes. It's more mess than anything logical. But yeah, if you want to go down there, we can go down there.
Quick question. If the demons make no secret of effectively running this place, why don't they reside down there with, everyone who's rich and wealthy and,
well, the wealth doesn't have much meaning anymore, right?
Most of the comparatively,
No, they're dead. So, most of them are dead. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Are they like
just like us up here?
Dead?
Sorry, what?
Sorry, you said they're dead like the rest of us up here? Like, are they undead?
No, not to my knowledge.
So, people who are still clinging to their idea of nobility, they live down there, but they're also dead? I'm very confused.
It's not one thing. I'm just saying that, like, okay, so we've got a city, right? We had problems in the city. That led to more conflict and more problems. We tried to resolve that conflict as best we could. Some of us felt strongly that it should resolve one way or another, and that led to violence. At this point, the population of the city is decreased by about 2/3. So you're going to find a lot of empty houses. We congregated up here not because we couldn't go down there anymore. It used to be that there was like a huge divide, but this is just where we live. Right.
And the demons live up here as well.
And down there. Octhith and Mazatir are mobile.
Oh, I see.
They can move
house
around.
House in the city, house in the country.
Right, exactly. That sounds right to me. I don't really know what the country is.
when people like to play at being rural because it's a novelty to them rather than having to actually toil for their existence.
You know, you want my opinion? I think that we are all, including you, just playthings of these demons. And they're just having fun. And as soon as, like, we cease to be entertaining to them, then they're gonna change it up and find a new way to make us entertaining to them. We're kind of
no
screwed.
question about that. Still on the subject, sorry, of like personal items, like among the tools that are here, does anything at all look sentimental? Like, are there initials carved onto anything? Is there like a hammer that's like significantly older?
Yeah, I should have told you this when you were looking for arcane things. My bad. Yes, there's a hammer. In fact, it's a hammer that has been engraved with similar runes as the forge.
Okay. How heavy does it look?
Like a normal smithing hammer, probably. So we'll call it 2 to 3 pounds.
Okay.
Do you want to go downstairs? I can show you. Do you guys have underwater cities where you're from?
Not at all.
Sounds magical.
Yeah, fish, pretty. Do you like fish?
That's
yeah, I'd say he likes fish. I'm pretty sure he likes fish a lot.
Very fascinating.
Yeah, Thomas, you're a big fan of fish.
You know what? I am. I own that.
Well, if you want, we've got rooms down there that have panes of see-through material that you can look out into the ocean.
How marvelous.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. You guys don't have anything like that back where you're from?
I believe that, something is in development about little chambers that would allow people to travel beneath the ocean. But I can't say that we have just, viewing spaces.
Travel?
Juno's just gonna think at Oceana and be like, do you want me to hit him?
No. But let's steer the conversation in a different direction.
Yeah.
Rather than giving these people
Thomas
a way
is
out.
saying, military secrets and all that. We've only seen one or two.
Yeah, and they keep sinking. So it's just...
Well, it doesn't help that I did break the last one, but...
Well, look. It's fine. Like, a lot of people drowned. It was really horrible. It was a horrible tragedy. Honestly, I think we're like maybe another 300 years out on that one, just speaking from an arcane perspective. Yeah, let's go. I think that it might be a good idea to go downstairs. If you're sure and you don't want to escort us, that's totally fine.
No, I've got your back. I can guide you. Where are you headed? Smiles. Raises one eyebrow.
Yeah.
Thomas mentally asks Mercury, can you upset that child very quickly?
I'm not really comfortable with I mean, it's a kid.
I mean, babies cry at anything. It's the big deal. They cry because they forgot their hands exist.
Actually, yeah.
I could drool on him a little.
Can you, make a big flapping noise with your wings?
Okay, that I can do. And, suddenly, big flapping noise starts coming and the baby starts crying.
Oh, no. Hold on. Too many people in the room. Yeah. I gotta step outside for a bit. Thomas, can you come with me for a sec?
Oh, of course.
Kaz, you're really good at holding them.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Captain
Awkwardly holding it, I'm
Damaris will be
guessing. I don't
right
really
back.
know. Kaz can hold the
Yeah,
baby.
I'm gonna
Probably,
I'm gonna
technically, I
have
don't know.
I'm gonna do the whole thing of like, oh, I need Kaz because Kaz is really good at like calming the baby.
And
Sure.
I'll supervise.
Just stay right here. Well, you've handled babies before, and you know, Oceana, you've been a baby, so
Juniper, you of course sprang fully formed from the brow of Malice Stepwise.
I sprang fully formed from a tree. Thank you very much.
Oh,
And
sorry,
then
my apologies.
Yeah,
Juno was born from a tree with a book in her hand.
yeah. This is just how things are.
Sure.
We'll be right back.
So the two of you step outside.
We need to ditch this guy. Do you want to just like non-detection, invisibility, run for it?
I mean, he's going to notice if one of us is missing.
I mean, all of us. I can just cast darkness. Let's go.
Right now?
I mean, everybody else is here. Let's just go. Are you sure?
I mean, it seems like a pretty great way to make him even more suspicious than he already is. Like, I think at this point, I mean, obviously they're going to notice if a couple of us peel off. At this point, we could all go back to the ship and then try secretly to make our way back into town. Or the two of you, I mean, if you want to go, I could be like, oh no, they had to take the child back to the ship.
I'm not leaving you by yourself with them.
And by myself with them and Oceana. Besides, we were just going back to the ship after this anyway.
Okay, let's just go back to the ship and then we'll go.
All right.
Okay. All right. Also, baby.
Yeah, he looks very seriously at Fezball and says, "Thank you for your contribution to the war effort."
Okay. Also,
I'm never gonna do that again, just so everyone knows.
yeah.
Sorry.
What did Fuzzball like? What was Fuzzball's thing? She'll.
His tragic backstory?
Yeah, his
Tell
tragic
him the
backstory.
story of himself.
Yeah. I'll do that and do the weird bobbing walk thing, and like, I don't think she has anything in her bag. Like she'll bring out some like vials of her spell components and jingle them.
Sure, yeah. So he like let's see. Let me find something particularly funny. Give me 1 second. You are
Nothing that will explode, please.
Juniper. Let's see. What do we have that's funny?
I have true seeing with mushroom powder.
Yeah, so he grabs like a small vial you have of diamond dust. And like is now like playing with this diamond dust, and like it's shiny and bright, and so he's looking at it through various angles and like shaking it for the sound, and it's all very nicely stimulating, but it's also like a 25 gold piece toy.
I'm just like, please don't eat it. Please don't eat it. Please don't eat it. I need to make a toy.
You know,
so fast.
if you melt wax over the cap of that, it's going to be harder for him to bite through.
Okay, I'll remember that, but I don't have.
Maybe there's something on the ship.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Yeah, so she's gonna be like singing the ABCs of responsible spellcasting as they're walking back to the ship.
Mage hand, minor illusion, shocking grasp, dancing lights, true strike, mending firebolt. Sorry.
No, those are verbal components. Damn, no.
But never Eldritch Blast. Okay.
While they're still outside the shop, can Thomas think to Mercury, can you ask Oceana if she can invent a way to bring that hammer with us with the runes on it?
She says she's got it.
Wonderful.
So you find what you need here?
Yep.
I believe so. Thank you so much for your assistance. If you will ever get another reliable smith around here, it looks like there's quite a bit of useful tools for them to inherit.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need a little bit of repairs, but basically, and he pulls out something from his side. Again, it's this weird thing. You saw one in Oceana's cabinet. We would recognize it as being a firearm, but he spins it around and then pops it back in his belt and says, basically, except for like the occasional fine tuning, we all got what we need now. There's one of the benefits of having such a small population, I guess. A lot of excess.
My babe.
So where to next?
Ship.
Yeah, sure. I can take you back to the ship.
The child has had so much excitement today.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like, when you do detect magic, the range is yourself. It's just like good.
I love it. Yeah, and Oceana seems to trip and makes this huge commotion around her and like falls to the ground. Oh, ow!
Oh no!
God, ow!
Oh, are you all right? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate that.
Let me help you up. And he's like trying to like get between her and Georgie and like block his view of her for whatever she's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you are so busy focused on that you do not notice that she very skillfully and stealthily has stolen the hammer without anyone knowing. As she gets up, you guys leave, and she pauses and she looks around. And Juno, you included her in your telepathic bond.
Yep.
So to everyone, she says, just so you know, we're being watched from outside.
From outside.
They weren't inside the shop, but they're watching us now.
Thanks.
Can I try to do like an insight check on Georgie to see if he seems aware of that?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
20.
Yeah, you see his eyes flick just like a little bit one direction and then back, not in the direction that he's going. And so, seems like maybe he is. He's a little hard to read still.
Yeah, seems like it. Thomas kind of draws even with him and says, "Are they something we should be concerned about?"
Is what something we should be concerned about? He's just walking calmly towards the ocean. Or
if you aren't, I suppose I'm not.
Did you spot him?
No, just give them our regards.
It's nothing to worry about. It's just Tomas keeps an eye on me. Romantic. It's pretty good if you spotted him. That's impressive. He is one stealthy guy. Starts walking you back to the docks. As you're heading that way, he turns a corner and walks to a bridge. And he gets to the bridge and he starts to cross it, leading you guys that way. When suddenly he stops. He looks and he sees something.
In the water?
Yeah. He's looking down at it. He pulls out his sidearm and just sort of looks down. I've never seen them move in just one, but that's one of the cult members. Points.
In the water?
And you see like a sallow-skinned, sort of soaking figure just climb out of the water in the middle of the street and just sort of has like like these robes that are clearly not made for water, but the water has sunk them down so that they're very low on this very pale white off-skin pallid body. And this person whose head is mostly shaved but badly, and there's like this patch of hair that's growing from this one spot down, stringy and wet and dark, and just sort of looks at you with these big wide eyes. You see that on their head they've painted an eye in red paint, a very stylized depiction of an eye, and just sort of starts walking towards you at a lumbering side step.
Do more climb out?
Nope.
Banishment.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the spell save DC?
It is. Sorry, I'm not frozen or anything. I'm just looking for it.
Sure. No big deal. I guess I could always roll. It's probably, my odds are low no matter what it is, but I will wait and find out.
Seriously, where did I put it?
No.
I know I updated my spells.
Looks like you have a 16. Does that sound right?
Yeah, 16 save DC. Oh my gosh, I should have just looked at that first. Sorry, I was like going through the list of
I
spells.
got a 3, so I could have just rolled and assumed that I was going to fail. Cat.
Sorry, cat stream malfunction.
No worries. Cat stream, no malfunction. Cat stream, best stream. Always loved the cat stream. In fact, let's do the cat stream emotes. Bam. Cat stream. Cat stream, best stream. Okay, yeah. So this creature, so what does your banishment look like?
Thomas is still waiting for the magic from his friend to not work, because people promised them that magic was either not effective or different in this place, but because the flock has been able to be summoned, he's kind of wondering if it depends on what spell exists.
Yeah.
So normally, I honestly think he like shoos something reflexively, and they just kind of pop out.
Yeah, so it's more like a snap out of existence, right?
Well, into a pocket dimension, but yes.
Into a pocket dimension, sure. Yeah. So this creature is sort of lumbering forward towards you, and you go to do this, and as you do, you see its mouth open, but it's like way too wide for speech. It's like it drops, it almost like unhooks its jaw like a snake, and it looks like it's about to speak when suddenly you attempt to banish it, and you're used to this sort of non-thing, but instead you see this creature have a black pit form beneath it with sharp spikes in every direction, and this creature just starts to fall. It doesn't scream. It just falls. And you hear a voice say, "Yum." What was that? What? Who did that? Which of you did that?
Not me.
That's never happened before. What was that?
You summoned... Who are you? What are you working... You summoned the Black God of the Sea here?
I was supposed to send him to a harmless demi-realm for a minute so that we could get away. That's not how that was supposed to work.
It was one of them. Never mind. Whatever. But don't... What?
It wasn't supposed to be harmful to it.
Sure. Yeah. Great. So you weren't supposed to be using the Black God of the Sea as an instrument of death and destruction?
That's what that was.
Yes! What do you think it was? A dark ring of thousands of teeth waiting to devour you whole? Didn't you feel its
when you
pull?
say of the sea, scale would suggest something like that, yes.
Well, there you go.
clearly was not intended.
Jeez,
supposed to come
you
back
guys walk
in
around
a
with so
minute.
much power, and you just spend it willy-nilly. Okay, well,
No, that was supposed to be minor. It wasn't supposed to harm them. That's still a person. Bloody.
not anymore, it ain't.
Yikes.
I think, oh god. When he is angry, Georgie, his language changes slightly. It gets slightly less formal and returns to some of his early stuff, and he tends to refer to people as if there's a familial relationship, even when there isn't. So I think he follows that with daddy.
Kids and their slang. Let's go before something else creeps up. I don't trust anything at this point.
Yeah, okay. Just to be very clear, I didn't trust you before you summoned the Dark God of the Sea. Guess what? Now that you have, that has done nothing to alleviate my lack of trusting of whatever you guys are.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was so terrible for you. Clearly, you're the victim in this situation.
No, what? I'm not.
You're saying that you don't have ulterior motives as well? I mean, all of our motives have been out on the front. Like, we've said exactly what we are. But
I'm here because the Aisha told me to be here, and because Lady Gianna got in touch with me for the first time in a while, and because I guess if there's anything I've learned, it's that new things coming into this place are usually bad, but if you can use them in a positive way, then maybe it can make things a little bit less horrible for everyone as we die slowly.
that's not the goal. The dying slowly. That's
Oh, sure. The Aisha has hope. She's got to have hope. She's in charge. I'm a realist at this point. I get it. We're all going to die. You might escape. I don't know. You seem to have crazy, weird powers. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole place is doomed. Ulterior motives are kind of a waste of time from that perspective.
Well, I think we just found an additional use for that quill. I'm not thrilled about the rate at which the to-do list for that thing is stacking up.
I have a feeling that that quill, you can only do one thing with it. Like, with that kind of power.
Let's hope so. Let's go.
Yeah, fine. Turns and keeps walking. Oceana just walks up next to Thomas and says, "Hey, that was intense. You okay?"
It was supposed to be harmless. It was supposed to tuck it away for a minute, in which case we would be beating expedient tracks back towards the ship. And I'd never seen that thing before in my life.
Yeah. Does the killing bother you?
When I explicitly intended to try to maneuver it out of harm's way and instead fed it alive to some primal horror, yes.
It's the lack of intention.
It won't impact anything. But thank you for asking.
That's the first dumb thing you've ever said to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, please don't bring any more knives into the temple. I'm begging you. They're not needed. They make people uncomfortable. They're not used to seeing a 7-year-old with knives. Please stop bringing them into the temple. Was, that contextually, it seemed like you thought that was a little dumb.
I was 7. What was I supposed to do? I was clueless. I just...
Be less armed.
Doesn't mean that what you said wasn't
He kind of like
smart.
shoulder bumps her as they're walking.
Oh, they're cute. She's gonna say that to Mercury. There's just gonna be an aside.
Yeah.
Aw.
Roll a persuasion check.
Who, me?
No. I need Thomas
Me?
to roll a persuasion check.
Oh, what am I persuading?
Whether Oceana's going to open up to you.
Oh, no pressure. Can I? Oh, fuck. You know what? Fuck it. Can I use inspiration that I
Go
have
for it.
from the Maelstrom episode?
Yeah, go for it.
28, natural 20.
My people... Look, I don't know how many uses that quill has. But I know that one of the uses has already happened. Someone wished for limitless wealth. It didn't give him exactly that, but the vault that the quill's in, there's a lot of goodies in there. And considering what it's cost to get this far, I'm taking them. You can have the quill, but me and mine, we're going to take everything else. Everything we can. It's not dark or evil, it's just greed. Okay?
No, I understand that perfectly.
Stop looking at me like you're judging me.
That wasn't my intention. I was thinking, depending on how things play out, because if time moves more slowly here, we don't want to necessarily stick around. I may have an idea for a distraction while that's taking place, but we can talk later.
So Georgie continues walking and gets you to the docks, and there's your boat there, and he gestures to it, and he says, "I'm gonna have someone keep an eye on this dock, and anytime you come to town, I will show up and give you your little tour as you need. Okay?"
Thank you so much. And if a giant portal opens up and swallows us on the way back to the ship, then you'll have proof that we have no affiliation with that thing.
Yeah, but saying that means that if it doesn't, then it means that we do.
It's called a reverse jinx. My goodness, Juniper, calm down.
I don't think you have a direct affiliation with the thing. I'm not... Well, maybe... I guess maybe you do, but I don't think you're Fearless 2.0.
Well, if I was, I could just make a new quill and this would all be a lot simpler.
He was a good smith. Listen, don't wander around the city unarmed. I'm just saying. Things will happen. And just... We've been lucky so far. Turns and starts walking away. Oceana looks at you guys and says, "So am I actually to go plan an assault and figure out how to launch a direct assault on a demonic force underground?" I'm happy to do that if that's what you want. It's your show.
Juniper, if you need any forward scouts, the dragons are at your disposal.
Okay. But real quick heads up on that one. Basically, it's being guarded, and that's why we need to attack. It's been a while.
Yeah. Apparently the demons have like set up themselves like like nobles in the underwater area, and one of them, Ogfith, has a treasure vault that has this quill in it.
Okay. Well, how about there's a place in the area that has information that would be pertinent to me that could help us. I don't think it's anything that's going to be of like financial value, but it would be a value of possibly moving about the city, could possibly have information that could help us. I think we should try to find a way to get there.
Okay. Is it on the surface or under the water?
Under the water.
Okay.
I think we should try our other options first. If we can avoid a direct assault that'll get people killed, that'll be good.
So we wanted to ditch the Georgie, right? We like. There's a part of me that's like he knows his way around, but he's also like a liability, right? That was the whole point of this. So we're not. We don't even need to go back to. I mean, do you want me to go back to the ship and like get people on board with the assault and figure out how to make that plan as a last resort, and then give you guys the room to explore the city as you need?
What are you thinking, Thomas? I don't want to make a decision without y'all.
No, I think it's important that you're able to find and get into this place. I mean, dubiousness about everyone's underlying motives aside, you study. It's what you do. So anything you can learn will be of help to us.
Also, I think we might need Kaz's info on this one too. I don't know, because I know Kaz may be joining us.
Yeah.
I don't want to like.
You know, Kaz will join and can then make decisions. I don't want to.
Okay.
You know,
I don't want. I don't feel like I need to hold back. Oh, well, there you go. Never mind then. Well, as we decide what our next step is and fill in Kaz on what happened in the meantime, we are going to take our break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, everyone. And we are back. Welcome, everyone. Hope that you enjoyed your break. We enjoyed our break. And more importantly than that, we added someone during our break. Everyone, Kaz is back. We don't have to imagine Kaz.
Hey, hey,
Kaz
hey.
can be here to be imagined by Nia and for us and with us and to us in all those great and wonderful RPG heavy ways. Kaz, a question that came up in the first half of the show, at some point while you were absent, Juno needed a distraction, and Juno and Thomas needed a distraction, and so while inside a forge, they arranged it so that Mercury would flap his wings and upset Fuzzball, our baby foxfolk, and Juno then handed Fuzzball, our baby foxfolk, to you, and then went outside with Thomas to have a conversation outside in public. And I am curious, how was holding a baby Fuzzball foxfolk for you?
Who is crying?
Mm-hmm.
I am also crying. Like, it's like simultaneous, like, like I am matching the tempo, the volume. Like, we are mirroring.
Oh my god, that was so much better than I even imagined it. I love it. I love it.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the crying has continued as Juno walks out with Thomas and
I
has a
dare
conversation.
Georgie to insight check that.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, we're outside, so people could hear. Oh, well.
Mhm. Well, the crying helps as a distraction, one has to admit, on some level. So Kaz joining in on that is probably a advantage there. Though you are outside, and so things or people or whatever's that may be outside may have overheard this conversation. Oh. Well, anyway, that was a little while ago. You guys have now made it back. You unintentionally opened up something or welcomed something or brought forth something that devoured a cultist, and now are on the dock debating where you want to go. Georgie seems to have left.
Probably hasn't.
Hiding behind a barrel. That Georgie.
So, what is the plan? What do we want to do? What do we want to investigate? What do we want to make happen? What are we
Do
working
we want
towards?
to encourage people to help others in their lives? And
Oh
try to
my
make
god,
people's
thank
lives
you.
better?
Oh my god. Clearly I am tired
I
or
always
something.
like that part.
Me too. As always, when I'm not an exhausted idiot, I like to take a moment at the top of the second part of the show to encourage people to look at their lives and think about the ways in which they have benefits and superiorities or help or assistances that they have in their lives, and recognize that not everyone has those same advantages, those same privileges. Look for a way to provide them for others. Look for a way to help people as best you can. It is a difficult thing to be a human being in the world, and a tense thing many times. I don't know what your life looks like. I don't know who you are. Okay, in this case, I do know who you are, but I'm not going to pretend to tell you what that looks like for you. But you should look for a way to find a way to help people in the world. It's one of the best and healthiest things that you can do, both for yourself and for society. Look for someone who's struggling. Find a way to help them. As always, we also have other shows on this channel. We've got three shows a week. We've got 2 on Thursdays and 1 on Sundays. This Thursday morning is our classic dungeon crawl. This is our Thursday evening, our high politics campaign that's right now in a mystical city, the Forgotten to Time. And, well, our folks on Sunday are, well, kind of where these folks are supposed to be, dealing with the Primarch and the rise of fascism and wanting to deal fascism a deadly blow. For those of you that are curious, because I know some of you are, they did successfully mind control the Primarch so that Oceana has control over the Primarch. Does Oceana know this yet? No, sadly. But nonetheless, we have a cat situation. I saw a cat face.
Or
It's our cat
roommate
face.
situation. 1 second.
No worries.
Oh, do you want
That
me
was
to
so graceful.
mute you?
No worries. So, Nia, Kaz, you've been roughly caught up to everything? Been told
Oreo
what's going on,
balls.
broadly?
Yep,
Balls and
broadly.
Oreos.
Excellent. Beautiful. Well then, we are in a situation now where we have to decide what to
Sorry
do.
about that, but there are some Oreo balls and the glitter looks like gold.
And the well, now I'm jealous.
Sorry.
No worries. I approve. I approve of breaks for Oreo balls. Anyway, so we're now in a situation where we have to decide what to do. So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, at some point we need to kill Master Tier. I'm sorry. By the way, I apologize.
No worries.
Oh.
You are forgiven entirely.
Oh, well, Juno's apologizing to them, and I'm apologizing also for the sugar in my mouth. Oh. And, getting into the, Streka's, office would help because obviously magic is going wonky here. And we need everything we can as an advantage. Also, I need to make sure that my fur can remain glossy and beautiful.
Yes.
I'm sure you're in no danger of that.
And she's just gonna show off the tail. Look at those two furs. Look at the two hair.
I don't see.
You see them? You see
No.
them right here. These two right here.
Those two?
Yes, those two.
The red ones?
No, the black, the right. And she's just gonna point.
Yeah, she's got two black hairs in the middle of her tail.
Is that what happens to foxfolk as they age? Because I was under the impression you were rather young.
No, when we age, we get white muscles and stuff.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah, this is bad. Whatever it is,
you'll be fine. Maybe it's dashing. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, but
happening. I think I want to test something out. I will poke myself in the arm and put 1 point of healing, lay on hands, just to see what happens. I just want to check.
It works smoothly and effectively.
Cool. Just making sure.
There is no curse upon your lay on hands anymore, nor is being here interfering with it at all.
Don't want a repeat incident, after all.
I have no objection to repetition, as long as it is not repetition but rhyme. But no, in this case, your lay on hands seems to be working smoothly and effectively. It works exactly as well as you would expect it to work.
Okay. And, I mean, I'm not the magic expert, but what would that tell me about my other healing magics? Because I assume they come from the similar source, all my healing stuff.
Interesting. Roll an Arcana check.
Okay. 15?
Yeah, maybe they come from a similar source. You've certainly heard tell of noble knights who work differently than wizards and sorcerers. Sometimes there's some overlap in what sort of the effects of what they can do, but it doesn't always mean that they're coming from the same place. It's hard to know. You'd have to test a healing spell if you wanted to test it out.
Okay. Well, that's the next thing I'm going to do. Is oh man, I don't want to waste a spell slot, but I need to make sure. So I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. Are you injured currently?
Nope.
Okay.
Nick yourself.
Are you willing to nick yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So you nick yourself. Take that 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And you cast Cure Wounds. Can you roll that Cure Wounds health for me?
Yep, I sure can. Level 1, of course. Oh man. Why is it a plus? That's not the 4. That's the Divine Smite damage.
You are not divinely smiting your wound. Okay, fair enough. Okay, excellent. Yeah. It heals perfectly. It heals well. It seems to be working normally. And simultaneously, you feel something that feels a little bit like a poke in the back of your skull.
Oh. Okay. That's not good. That's not good. Huh. But otherwise the spell goes off.
Seems to work fine. You heal. Your wound is completely gone. There's no injury left.
Just a poke. Okay.
And you spent a spell slot, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm saying that part of things seems to work normally, but you feel like something is lightly poking back here. Kind of feels. If you ever had a migraine, I hope you haven't had a migraine, but if you had a migraine, it kind of feels like the beginnings of migraine.
Okay, that says something important, and I will keep in mind that I may not have as much capacity as I did before. Right. That is the extent of my experimentation. For now.
Okay. Do we have a plan on where to go? You are muted.
Sorry.
Were we planning on going to the special office first? Study? Magic Land?
I like that one. Let's call it Magic Land.
Or we can go to the forge guy.
No, I'm going to try to get in contact with him mentally. I may have to wait a bit. Honestly, I need to reach out to someone as well. But it's very important. I agree. We're making a lot of new special friends lately.
Mm-hmm.
But if your new special friend seems to think that they want to support you in demon smiting, and they might have something to help you, then yes, I think that's pretty critical. I'm not sure that my math is great, but if it's been approximately 210 years since the fall of the Tuan Empire, and somewhat preceding that by at least a few years would have been this incident where the Empress sold Caprina. And I think it was over the table, it was like 78 that the Aisha was supposed to be, and she started out as like a teenager.
Yep, theoretically.
And she still resembles one, obviously, but...
Interesting.
And that would mean she started out as a teenager. Nearly 80 years have passed. Here.
Do you want to just have your character do the math?
Yeah, that's approximately 60 years-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's about 4 times the speed is what you would get. Based on what you're saying so far, you would come to the conclusion that it's about 4 times the speed. So a minute here is 4 minutes back in Racy.
And a long rest would take a solid day to accomplish. So I definitely believe that we need to figure out what we're doing, get our ducks in a row quickly, and proceed forward. But I also do need to wait until our dwarven friend is sleeping, and I'm hoping that someone might be able to join me in breaking through to him somehow. Okay. But study first, probably, right? Isn't it?
Let's do that.
How are we sneaking past Georgie and his paramour?
We have to think on the fact that we may not be able to. We can still try, but we may not be able to.
I mean, that zombie emerged from the water, and until then I was enthusiastic about the idea of just swimming in, but...
I mean, they have the weird little things on their hips, so apparently those are weapons.
The zombies have those.
No. Georgie and his
friends.
Oh,
yes.
They said we needed to be armed. Right now, with our magic, things are a little bit awkward.
Oh, well, I can give you a firearm if you'd like. If you want to match them. I don't know how theirs are made, they might be better, but...
You
or worse.
You can set our arm on fire? I'm sorry, I'm missing something.
The device that he had, the thing that he pointed, it's a weapon. There's a lot of varieties of them, but in essence, it launches a projectile at high speeds. It's not too different from a slingshot, although much faster and much more deadly. They were, I thought, invented in a land far east of here. I didn't think that they'd be available anywhere near here.
Out
Though
of
I guess this
curiosity,
place
when were they
special was.
invented? When about? Do you know?
I don't. I picked mine up about. I picked a bunch of them up about 4 years ago. When I was on the other side of the Shimmering Seas, actually, the other side. And they seemed rare, but not impossible. They're expensive to make and expensive to upkeep, and ammo's expensive as well, but dreadfully useful. Point and something goes down.
I'm just wondering if there's been any sort of outside trade then, if they've been invented in the past few hundred years.
Certainly possible. No idea though. But if you want, I can sail back to the ship. I've got a couple of them stockpiled, and I'd be happy to loan them. I'd want them back.
Try not to get them eaten by a terrifying spike pit.
Thomas, I'm not afraid of anything in the ocean. Do you want to wait here while I go get some?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And
One for you. Do you want one, Juno, as well?
Sure.
oh no, we've realized the meme.
This game,
the game is about to be over. This is the thickness
remaining
of the book now.
story left.
The game of Juno had a gun.
No, wait, it's still this thick, but most of it is taking the gun away from Juno.
And Kazan?
I'm pretty good with the sword. But
Sure. Yeah, I just know that their magic's affected. I don't know if your magic is affected, but if their magic is affected and they want to be careful about using it, then something that helps out with that could be helpful.
Point of order. Thomas is going to try to pluck Fuzzball from Juno's possession.
Excuse me, do not just...
You're excused. How are you with children?
They're...
well,
Don't
if
hand
you
that to me.
remember,
Well, what are we going to do with it?
Take care of them,
Juno's
not
doing
it.
well.
Well, what if we end up in like a
We
fiery
can't-
death trap?
yeah,
That's
we
no
can't
place
have
for
a
a child.
I can send them.
Regardless of what your father might think.
I can send them to Mello. It'll be fine.
All right.
Okay. And I'll just be like, "How are you okay? Like, we don't think of you as an it. You are definitely a them. You're a person.
Well, they're an infant. Let's not go that far.
Well, maybe they're an infant who vaguely remembers being an adult who was, has a whole life."
Thomas leans over and says, "Then hurry up."
Good.
I think we've made a real breakthrough.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Oceana's just gonna hop on the boat and start returning back to our ship. She comes back not that long later, and she has with her Mirko, the kobold, and with them is several firearms, and she just hands one to Thomas and hands one to Juno, and then so here's how this works. You got 6 shots. I'm not going to teach you to reload right now because it's hard. And so, point, aim it like a arrow. Range is a little wonky with them, though. They're relatively close, 30 feet. Otherwise, they start going really wide.
You know, why don't we just use this on Blackice?
Well,
Like,
you could.
Oh, I'll solve that for you. Don't you worry about him.
oh,
Yeah,
hmm.
it'll be fine.
Will it?
I got you covered.
You're going to kill the Primarch.
no.
No.
I know how this is gonna work. I know about this. I know what she's planning.
It'll work.
If you're sure.
It will.
Okay. Well, hey, we already gave our
I have
support
faith.
on that
Celexa
one.
is very good at getting things done.
Well, I'm sure it comes in handy. I mean, I've been rather worried about that group back there. If only. I mean, surely they must be bright. They seemed clever and capable enough, which is a really good thing. He's like talking to Juniper and Kaz at this point because there wasn't a looker among them. I mean, if even one of them was remotely attractive, they would have been able to navigate Racy much easier. I mean, everyone loves a
What
pretty
is
face,
happening?
but there wasn't a single one of them that was really, I don't know, something special.
Hold on. I don't think that's a fair assessment. I think that I mean, Celexa is gorgeous. We have to admit that.
Oh,
Dime a dozen. I mean, you have to really stand out these days, and I don't know if.
And like Nova is spectacular.
Hold
And
on,
I mean,
I'm
okay.
asexual. What's happening here?
You're telling me. You're telling me. I get so confused whenever this happens.
I mean, Nova seemed more than capable with. I mean, she had a large sword, sure, but.
And I'm just saying that on some level, I mean, okay, not my type, way too old for me, but and dresses like garbage. But if we put him in a nice top and dressed him up a little bit, Timothy could get it together.
I wonder what size he wears.
Yeah, he wears a large.
I mean, Timothy seems to be nice. I'm just saying.
Can I insight check her real quick?
Sure.
Shouldn't have used my advantage earlier. 19.
Yeah. I mean, she thinks that you're being unfair to them. She doesn't like them right now, but like that is. But she kind of left the door open from her own perspective to like them in the future. Now,
Yeah. Does it seem
she
like
cursed them? So that's a little bit tricky.
What am I getting? RE like Celexa or Nova specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a potential for a romantic entanglement that was passed up between Celexa specifically and Oceana.
Thomas doesn't pry. He is owed this knowledge.
Yeah, that's fine.
It is gossip. Okay.
Yeah, it's your child. You should feel free to feel gossip. Yeah, I think had Celexa not so like profoundly betrayed Oceana by mentally manipulating one of her crews with magic, they could have had a date.
Oh.
And like, you know, it didn't work out. It happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as long as Thomas knows.
Yeah. I don't think Oceana's like cut up about it, but it's still one of those things of like, it's sort of like
he was
if you had a crush on someone, if you had a crush on someone, and then like you're basically over it or whatever, but then someone starts trashing on them, and you just get that reflexive like thing of like, no, they're fine, they're good. Or whatever.
I'm just saying, Fabian has a lot of partners, and Tom is always the last person to be dialed in whenever anything is happening with her. So, like,
sure.
This is just important.
Yeah, sure. That's fair. Well, now you know. Gossip.
Yeah.
And I'm the first. No.
Yeah, Gina's just like, wow, that sounds incredibly complicated. I'm so
It's-
happy.
Oh, that's
Where
happy
I
here.
am.
Sorry about that, everyone. Back
So-
to
We had a quick divergence.
that was
Are we-
definitely Matthew, not Oceana.
Are we
Marco.
disguising ourselves or just?
A little worried about the spell.
Oh, that's true.
I'll
I
cast a
think-
minor illusion, see what an illusion will do.
Oh yeah. He turns back
Mhm.
to Oceana. Can you get these wet?
Yes, but they shouldn't work underwater. Like
Right.
the water itself will provide enough resistance, but they should you should be able to. She like dunks it in water and pulls it out.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that. They're protected, but you call it shooting, and like if you shoot with it underwater, it just like kind of putters out.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Your question was about a minor illusion cantrip.
Yeah, I think Juno's gonna cast a minor illusion cantrip to make it look like there are a bunch of potatoes on the deck.
Mhm. Yeah. So the potatoes appear on the deck. They are rotten.
Oh,
Well, that's just unnecessary. You know, when we want their opinion, we'll ask for it.
okay. She's gonna try to cast a minor illusion of like amazing potatoes.
So you take off. So you try to. So you try and take off the minor illusion of the potatoes first, of the rotten
Yeah.
potatoes. Hmm. The spell seems to be holding on to you.
Oh,
Oh.
holding on to me is in like the magic's holding on.
Yeah, like they don't want to go away.
What happens if I poke one with a stick?
Your stick like sinks into the potato, but it's sinking into a potato, not an illusion.
Oh
Like
boy.
a rotten potato is
Oh.
now being poked with a stick.
Hey, that doesn't usually happen.
Nope.
Hey, try to make a minor illusion of the quill.
That's brilliant, dude.
That would be
That's
a
such a
horrifying
great
thing.
idea.
I'm not doing that.
Do it.
Nope.
Do it.
Nope.
Come on.
It would end up being like a cursed quill,
It's already a
And
cursed
when
quill. We have
you-
nothing to lose.
more than usual, and then when you hold it, it fuses itself to your hand. I don't want to do that.
Well, so what do you think happens if I cast Disguise Self?
You'll probably turn into it.
Well, here's the thing. It's a spell. I was born knowing how to disguise myself. So I'm wondering if it works differently.
I was born knowing minor illusion.
Ah, okay.
Oh, sorry, you didn't get minor illusion from your star sign though, right? Sorry, just double checking.
No, I got
Okay,
minor
got it from your
illusion
foxfolk.
as a
Great.
foxfolk.
Yeah, that's
Hold
perfect.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Thomas tries to drop his appearance.
Yeah. It drops.
Fuck.
What? Oh, Thomas. Thomas, you are. Take it from
No,
me.
it's
You
fine,
are a
it's fine.
silver fox.
So no, you don't have to. You don't have to make me feel better. It's fine. I never get to have any fun, but it's fine.
Do you want to cast disguise self of yourself and being younger?
No, I don't need to do that. No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
And she's just gonna hold up baby Fuzzball.
Mm.
Be like, he wants cuddles.
Get that reminder of youth and
Snuggle,
energy away
snuggle,
from me.
snuggle. Okay, I'll snuggle then, whatever. Yeah, you're the best. Sorry, June's just giving Fuzzball all of the like
Mhm.
confidence,
Yeah.
positive stuff.
I love it.
So we're
Raise
seeing
that
Juno be
child.
like a really good mom
Like
in real time.
every few minutes, you're just gonna hear like, "You are the smartest. You are so smart. Those are your toesies." So
Yeah. Disadvantage on stealth checks then, but
Yeah.
sorry. Hard to sneak with a baby. Other magic tests, or are we going to start walking somewhere?
I think we're gonna start walking somewhere for me. What about y'all?
Kaz,
Well,
did you
Let's
want to test
go, I
something?
suppose.
Well, no. I think no. Yeah, I think I'm good.
You know, if Georgie and them show up, we're not really going to be able to evade them. I'm not casting that bloody spell again while we're here. So are we comfortable with them just knowing where we're going?
I guess we'll just have to be.
Thomas is just going to be in a very petty mood for the rest of the afternoon.
I'm so
Totally
sorry, Tom.
A brief moment of hope, and then dashed.
I could be young again. You have to recognize it probably wouldn't have worked. Okay. So Juno, what are you gonna do about these potatoes?
Shoot. Do I have to do something with these potatoes?
Well, they kind of feel like they're still attached to you.
Okay.
And it's not like shutting off. Like normally you just shut things off, but this is not shutting off.
Okay.
Maybe we kick them into the water? They're
No.
biodegradable.
It's supposed to last a minute. Has it been more than a minute?
It's been like 2.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna stab one. Just stab it. And when I stab things, I get Divine Smite automatically.
Nice.
Just to see what happens.
I love it. Yeah. So your Divine Smite is automatic. There's no expenditure there. Awesome. Yeah. It cuts right through the potato, and Juno, you feel that potato cease to be part of your spell. The potato that is cut through loses its connection to you, and all the potatoes lose their connection to you, and disappear like they were illusions all along. But Kaz,
Okay,
when you
then.
cut through the potato, it did feel like you were cutting through a rotten potato.
Okay, so it was very much real.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
How does that feel, Juno?
That was horrifying.
Well, does
That
it?
was bad. Oh, it's gone, but it was
it's
bad.
gone.
That was bad.
We
Okay.
got to get this show on the road.
Yeah, we need to go into that study because this is the only way I'm going to get any magic done.
Yeah.
And we're not getting any younger, so let's go.
Oh,
Well-
Thomas. And it's
Maybe
just
that's a
baby.
Don't touch me.
Oh.
I love it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start walking towards the town central square area where there is a passageway down below. That sound appropriate to everyone?
Yep. And I think he said that he had people who were going to be watching us, so he would find us.
Before we part ways with Oceana, can we be like, when your people were at the secondary location earlier, did they happen to see anything that looked like a secret passageway or a tunnel or anything interesting like that? I know you've got some sneaky types among yours.
It'll come in handy later.
All right.
It's a map. It's just a map of the vault. Okay, I figured out that there would be that the designer of the building had left their resources up there, and so they stole a map of the vault, and also a
Okay.
way through the vault door because the vault door is like protected, and so I
Hmm.
needed like a code to get through. And turns out that the vault maker had it, and so we found it and stole it.
Charming. Wonderful. I was hoping they might have stumbled across Georgie's alleged secret passage, but that's all right. Thank you so much.
No, the mansion is very oddly occupied. It's weird there. They mentioned shadows running around, which is a weird thing to say. So I imagine the shadows were running around.
Hmm.
Anyway, it was Song doing the reporting, so they always get it right. I'll be here. I'm gonna go back to the ship and finish my planning, but careful with those firearms.
Thank you so much.
She nods and leaves. So you guys start making your way to the town square. It turns out that Georgie is very good at avoiding things. So you see a large group of these very waterlogged, pallid-skinned people wearing these robes that are so wet that they're sunken down heavily. And there's like a group of maybe 12 of them. and they're just sort of ambling about through the area on the bridges and on the sidewalks that you're sort of expecting to cross to get where you're trying to go.
Just gonna end up waiting for Georgie, or are we just going on with that?
I mean,
Presumably you were going off to ditch him.
don't want him there, presumably.
Okay, so what do we do with these 12 ramblers?
Ask Mercury to fly overhead and see if we can spot a way around.
Sure, boss, no problem. Swimming or non-swimming?
Do we have a preference, or
They can swim underwater pretty well. That's kind of horrifying.
Yeah.
I like to be able to
both?
Also, we have a baby.
Oh, that's
Oh
true.
my god.
Well, babies are actually very drowning proof.
Let's not test that.
Let's not take advantage of the
No,
plot
it's
armor.
true. They take to swimming really remarkably because the brain remembers what it is. At least that's what the university types put out a few years ago. The infant brain remembers what it is to be in the womb, and so they just sort of go for it. And that is the end of my knowledge on babies. The
Well,
yes, Mercury, above ground, please. They seem to have hang-ups.
Yeah,
Well,
roll a
then-
perception check for Mercury, please. I love it.
13. Wait, no. Sorry, I need to use Mercury's stats because that would be good. So he has, oh, that's worse. That's plus.
It's the same.
Oh,
Just plus his mod.
wait, it's pluses.
Should be plus wisdom plus
Yeah, but he's.
proficiency.
Oh, okay.
Proficiency is
I
yours.
misunderstood. I thought
Yeah,
you
no,
were
no.
saying he has a +6 wisdom,
Oh no, I have
which
no
would
idea.
surprise me.
I hope he doesn't have that. I've been playing him wrong. If he has that.
so wise. So wise.
Clearly.
I think
And
he's a
what-
+1 or +2.
Very comparatively
What is it?
wise pseudo dragon.
What do they call it? Still waters,
Um,
Ramsey?
Something like that.
Mhm.
Ugh. For him, that is an 8.
Plus, let's see, perception. That's +1, and then plus proficiency.
Oh, plus.
For you
his-
is +3 right now because you're level 8. Everyone else is higher, but you're level 9.
I'm level 9.
Okay, so it's +3. So that's +4. So he gets an 11. And he looks and he says, "Boss, these there's different groups of them, but they're kind of all over the place. They're kind of just ambling around though. How sure are you that they're hostile?" These are the ones that have like an eye on their head. Sorry.
Mercury,
These are the ones
you
that
sound
have
so
an-
different.
These are the ones that have like an eye on their head, and that's a thing. There's other ones over there that seem to have like these large kind of hooded eyes. Doesn't look like they're looking very well. They have eyes painted on their hands rather than on their head.
While we're standing here, can I do divine sense just so I can get a feel?
Yes, these are creatures that have been tainted by demons. They are not
Okay.
demons themselves, but they have been tainted by them.
Would they be classified as fiends then?
Yes.
Or okay, gotcha.
They are
Nice.
tainted enough to no longer be what they were.
I mean, not nice, but nice.
That does make me feel a little better.
As you
honestly.
use divine sense, one of them turns towards you,
Oh,
Oh,
and it starts lumbering over again in this awkward way.
who, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it gets close, but not that close. It slows at about 8 feet away. And it looks at you. And it begins to open its jaw.
nope.
I don't want to feed another thing to that mouth.
Okay.
What are you doing? Do you know? Are you noping in some way? Or are you just like saying nope for the sake? I want to give you have room here to respond, of course.
Okay.
You are an inventor. You can respond if you so desire.
Does it seem like they're about to make noise?
His jaw seems to just like open wide again. As I said before, it's like it's a little bit like a snake unhooking its jaw. It just goes down and keeps going down.
That's horrifying. Okay. Man, I mean, I gotta defend myself from whatever is about to happen.
Okay.
So, ooh, yeah, I think that's a great place to impale my sword.
You want to impale it in the mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll an attack roll for me.
Okay. Very, very nervous.
Yeah. Would you roll damage?
Yes.
Are you pumping anything into this?
No, just the radiant damage that already goes with it.
Great. Awesome. So this goes right through him. You feel that radiant damage, and I will tell you, so you know, it is weak to radiant damage, so that radiant damage is doubled from 1 to 2. But you would feel that nonetheless.
Okay.
And it goes right through the gaping maw of its mouth, and then through the chest as well, which is where the mouth is so low that it's in front of right now, piercing it in between the lungs. And this inky blackness inside its mouth, from it emits a voice. Who are you? The mouth itself is not moving, but a voice from inside it is moving.
Do we all hear this?
Yeah, it's oral. You can hear it.
Okay.
Does it sound like the thing that said yum?
No.
Who's asking?
This is my domain. I ask the questions.
I look to the other two.
Thomas says to Mercury, an escort. Tell it you're an escort for something that's here.
Tell you ask Mercury to do that?
Yeah, he's asking Mercury to tell Kaz or to advise Kaz.
Yeah, so Mercury, I think Kaz is still still telepathically bonded, so you can actually just talk to Kaz.
Oh, okay.
And we'll just include Mercury on the telepath if that's okay.
Sure,
Yeah.
So you're nobody important. You're just hired help. You're just here with this company.
Just hired help. I just repeat everything Thomas said.
Who has money to hire you?
Classified? You would never give your clients away.
Afraid that's classified. So good at lying.
Wink.
Yeah, roll a deception check.
I believe in her.
Oh, you should not. 7.
How did you get through the maelstrom?
With my power and company's power combined.
Internally, I'm thinking a cat.
A cat. And a cat.
That's not what I was promised.
What were you promised?
I was told no one could get through the maelstrom. This is supposed to be my place, mine. What are you doing here? How did you get here? This is supposed to be my place. No one can get through. Not for 250 years. No one can get through. How did you get through here?
Who
Okay.
promised you?
To whom do we have the privilege of addressing?
I'm Ogthith. Who are you?
I'm Sam. This is Frodo. This is Gandalf.
Wait,
Disowned!
no way.
I didn't say that.
It was just too perfect a timing thing. I'll approve. You're good.
Thomas thinks to the others, I have something that I could say, but we haven't discussed it.
Okay. Trust you.
Go for it.
I am here on behalf of the chain, who wishes to negotiate with you for a truce and a partnership.
The chain shouldn't be able to get in here.
Desperate times. He sends an emissary.
You are here from him? You hear eagerness in the voice.
He finds himself in need of allies. And
But he's so
perhaps
proud. How could he ever ask for help? Again, I want to stress that no mouth is moving. This mouth is just this gaping hole and sounds emitting from it. There's also a sword sticking through it right now. Still.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is my sword coming out?
I mean, do you want to pull it out?
I would like it back, yes. Very
Yeah,
much
so you pull your sword out. It's weird. You see the chest. The chest is bleeding. The mouth, though, you can't see a hole there. It's just inky blackness.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, isn't that why we're here? Obviously the chain's not going to ask for help, but emissaries can.
pride is one thing, mutual gain is quite another.
Does he bring gifts?
That may be relative to our conversations.
This servant that you have stabbed, it is dead. Another will come. It will look upon you and raise its hand. It will then guide you to my domain, where we can meet and speak. And we will discuss what I and the chain can do for each other.
Yay. Thomas feels sick.
The creature just falls over into the water. And another creature comes forward. This time it doesn't open its mouth. Its hand just raises above its head. Not like it's waving at you, but like it's been told what a wave is, but has never ever done or seen one before. And so it does this sort of gesture above its head.
Cool.
Thomas turns to I think he turns to Kaz and just shoves the paper with the quill diagrams at her, and he says to her and Juniper, "You need to go now and contact me.
What?
Contact me when we're ready to make a run on that vault."
Okay.
Are you sure?
Have it be soon.
I don't like this.
I don't like it either, but it's where we are.
Okay.
Get to the study. Get back to Oceana.
Wait.
Learn what you can from this. Quickly.
Before Thomas goes, I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on him.
Okay, Kaz.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I need a... This is not going to be bad.
Okay.
But I do need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay, gotcha. Good thing I'm good at those.
Yeah, I know you are. You're incredibly good at them, and you're going to succeed.
15?
A 15 is a success.
Okay.
The headache that you felt at the back of your head increases slightly, but you feel good magic go out. and you feel Thomas be protected. There's a glow of radiance around him that fades into his skin. Thomas, protection of good and evil has been cast upon you.
How long does that last?
Only 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Is that true?
That's what it says.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to attempt to empower it to make it last longer?
For sure.
Okay. Do you have higher spell slots that you could spend, theoretically?
Yeah, I'll spend my highest level, which is a 3rd level spell slot.
Okay. Yeah, and it's normally 1st level, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. This will last for 3 hours.
For your reference.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm gonna elevate that to 3 hours with that. Same deal with the concentration.
Gotcha.
Okay,
there we go. So Thomas, you follow the creature.
He squares his shoulders and he says rather loudly to the air in particular, I assume my servants or my companions will have safe passage in this city during our negotiations.
There's no reply.
Great. It's cool.
He heard. He can be petty.
Yeah, of course. Beautiful. So Thomas, you follow this creature. I want to stick with you for a little bit of flavor and description, and then I'm going to jump back to Kaz and Juno, and then back to you. So you've been walking outside this whole time, and there's a constant light drizzle. It's never that bad, but the eye of the storm still has this rain coming down upon you. And this creature makes its way forward and guides you through to like the largest flat piece of like wood that you've been here on, the largest floating piece of wood in the city that you've been to so far. And in the middle of it, there is a very, very, very large, red-skinned, muscled, demonic-looking figure with massive bat wings, just sort of staring at you. And you get closer to it, and you realize that it is like been painted to look demonic, but is actually just like a very normal gargoyle resting in the middle of this thing. And the figure that is escorting you just walks calmly past it, and then to a staircase that descends down. He walks down the stairs, and you follow, and you find yourself in tunnels underneath the water, largely made of glass. You look out and you see the sea. You look above and you see the bottoms of houses that you're walking through. This maze of tunnels, many of them are made of glass, and so you can see through them. And then you can look down and you see darkness. This place already didn't have a lot of light, but seeing the limit of your vision be so close is a little disconcerting. You follow the creature through the mazes. You see the occasional person. You see the occasional decaying body. You see some of them you see the occasional cultist as well. And you find yourself to a door, and looking down past your feet, you see something that you can only describe as a tower reaching down rather than up. Just going down, down, down through the depths, probably 20, maybe 30 floors. Guards are standing out front here, the most normal looking thing you've ever seen in this place. And one of them opens the door, and you are escorted in. And you are in a library. and the library is filled with books, and there's a table in the center, and standing in the back of the room, you see more of these gargoyles. But sitting at the table, you see a humanoid figure, probably 7'4", all black skin, and a black skin that looks like charcoal. It'll rub off. And it looks at you up from the table, and then it looks at you with both eyes, and then you see a third eye open in the middle of the head, slowly. And it smiles, and you see that the teeth are silver and pointed throughout. And it looks at you and says, "Welcome, emissary of the chain." I'm going to cut there and look at Juno and Kaz. Juno and Kaz, what are you guys doing?
Yikes on a bike. Well, we need to get downstairs too. What's in between us and the main stair heading down?
More of these guys that haven't been bothering you that much, and then the other ones that seem to have eyes painted on their hands rather than on their head.
Okay. Is there a way for us to avoid those people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why don't you roll a survival check?
Making an attempt. Oh, I have a 0 survival.
But an 18 is still an 18. Gotta love an 18. Yeah. There's something weird about these. They seem to be blind, maybe? Hard to tell. But they definitely don't seem to notice you. But there's something in them that feels a little familiar to you. Like, when you just turn your senses to them, you look at them out of the corner of your eye, or you're dodging around a corner or something like that, there's something about them that has just like a little bit of familiarness.
Like, from a wizardly standpoint?
I'll say yes.
Okay. Would this be something I've seen before, kind of thing?
Do you want to roll a check for me to see?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out what check to do.
I think it's a perception check.
Okay. It's an 18.
Yeah. It reminds you of, for some reason, you don't know why, but there's something about them that reminds you of the magic of intent and feels a little familiar to Lady Gianna Strega. Very much different than the ones with the gaping mouths.
Okay. Well, that would make sense, because it's Mazatier.
It would 100% make sense. You are 100% correct and have deduced my riddle. Congratulations. Yes, that is all that I was pointing to, because they are from Mazatier. They are also, a lot of their magic is similar to the Lady Gianna Strega's magic that you are experiencing.
Okay.
Bond is. So you make it to the middle of the city, where there's this staircase descending downward. Again, this large platform and a staircase there going down.
Okay. So she said it was downstairs. So I'm going to just check the book to see if there are any more, like, concrete, take a left up Rose Street or something.
Yeah, sorry, concrete what?
Concrete directions, or if we're supposed to go like the person who refuses to look at their GPS.
Yeah, of course. So you're looking inside the book for Lady Gianna's comments.
Yeah, see if there are any more.
Yeah, I mean, she just gives you instructions. She says, go downstairs and head this way, head that way. And she gives you directions to where she is.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, let's give it a shot.
Kaz, what are you doing? You're sticking with her, right? Of course.
Yeah, sorry, my audio cut out for a second, but I think I'm caught up.
Okay. So you're at the staircase, and you're about to head down. Kaz, do you have any see invisibility up or any sense things up automatically by default?
Let me see. I don't think so, but I'll check for the sake of it. I definitely have my aura of protection and aura of courage is up by automatic, but I don't think anything else is up automatically.
Okay, cool. That's sort of what I assumed. Excellent. Well then, let's see, Kaz. Juno, actually, you seem like you're leading because you're sort of know where you're heading a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you want it that way, Juno? I can be in front and you can tell me which way to go.
It's okay.
Are you sure?
We'll be as close to like side by
Okay.
side as we can.
Okay. Sounds good. So you guys are side by side. You're with each other. You're next to each other. Juno, you also don't have any default see invisibility up or anything like that?
No, I have a spell
Great.
about it, but it won't go well.
I feel like I should.
No, I
But
mean,
no.
I was just
Yeah.
checking. Blind sense is now a thing that people like have by default.
Oh yeah. No.
And so I was just checking if anyone like retconned their character to have that or something like that. Basically, didn't think so. Cool. Well, you are going to be attacked
Okay.
many times in a row. That was really
Okay.
the first time in a long time.
Nice.
But the invisible protector, will attack you, 5 times in a row.
Both of us?
It attacks 5 times in a row, but I think I'm gonna divide them between you guys.
Okay. Under the bus.
Great.
Invisible
So
protector.
let's see, Juno. We're gonna give you. I'll give you 2 and Kaz 3.
Nice.
Cool.
So that's the first one is a 16, and the second one is a crit. Does the 16 and the crit hit, Juno?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Cool. That is going to be a bite and a crit on the claw.
Cool.
2d6 plus 4, and then that'll be 44 plus 4 plus 4. Wow. 15 plus 18. That's 33. Gotta love that.
33 damage.
Mm-hmm. Total.
Okay.
How are you
that
looking,
brings me down a
Juno?
lot.
And Kaz.
Mhm.
3 attacks at advantage against you.
Great.
It's an 18 on the first one. That's a crit on the second one.
Oh my god.
And it looks like a 26 on the third.
They all hit.
18 hits? Cool.
Yeah, my AC is 18.
That's true.
I think she
Okay.
might have mentioned something.
Do you mind if I do
about
all the
those.
magic at once? Sorry, all the damage at once, or do we need specific rolls to mix it out?
The only thing I have resistance to is necrotic
No,
and
it's just
radiant.
bludgeoning.
So yeah.
You are being slashed, actually. Wow, bad roll. 25 damage total.
Okay.
So something clearly does not want you to enter this space. What is your response to that? What do you immediately do? What are your reactions?
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is shove Juno back behind me.
Okay.
And then he's still invisible, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I think I have a spell prepared. But I'll still have to swing blindly, but if it hits, hold on. Let me pull it up. So level 2, right? Yeah, branding smite. Okay, so if I try and hit, it would just be at disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna give that a shot.
Okay.
And let's see how that goes. 17.
A 17 hits.
Okay, and I'm gonna infuse a branding smite into this.
Perfect. I love it.
Okay. Oh, it's been a while since we've done any kind of anything.
Damage. Attacking something. You have all these
And-
violent abilities. I figured I'd allow you to use it every once in a while.
All right, so that means extra 2d6 radiant damage.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's do the regular first.
Okay.
And
That's
then
15.
the
Do you want to pump in a Divine Smite as well?
Yeah, I will do that, and that's gonna be an extra.
It is also weak to your Divine Smite, so it gets an extra D8.
Okay. Question is, how strong do I want to do this at? 2d8 per spell slot. Let's do second level. That would be 3d8. Oh boy. Okay, there's gonna be some math that needs to be done here in a second. Don't mind
Sure.
me.
Okay.
So that's gonna be 16 times 2 plus the 2 plus 2, 4 plus the 9 times 2 plus 18. 54 points of radiant damage.
Oh, 54 points of radiant damage?
Yeah, plus
sorry, did you already do the vulnerability? Because I typically do that on myself.
I doubled the vulnerability.
Great. Okay.
Plus 13 slashing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Which is
That's 67 points of damage. Do you want to... And this creature becomes visible. You see a giant four-armed gargoyle painted red.
Great.
Do you want to take a second attack?
Yeah, I sure do. Does a
28 solidly hits?
My god. Well, this is what I'm good for.
Every once in a while we need a paladin to come save us.
Okay, and then we're gonna... Wow, that's bad. But we are gonna put same Divine Smite into that.
Okay. I'll double the damage, so don't you worry about that.
Okay, gotcha.
I can do the math.
So that's a 3d8 plus... Does the extra 2d6 continue?
No, it doesn't continue, but it is brightly glowing.
Okay, gotcha. So that's that.
Ooh,
that's a good roll.
It is illuminated. Yes, that is a lot of damage. You, in case anyone is curious about whether paladins are powerful, you just did 126 damage in a single attack.
I hit it really good. I'm really pissed. To be clear, I'm very pissed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Juniper, do you have a response to being ambushed by this creature?
Oh god. Okay. I don't know whether I want to cast a spell or not.
It's so tense. Who knows what will happen if you cast the spell?
Yeah. Okay. Something that'll affect it. How long does Judah have to wait between casting a typical spell and doing Magic of Intent?
1 minute.
1 minute? Oh, okay. Well, we're in battle and that's like every 6 seconds, but...
Yeah.
She's gonna try to polymorph him.
Okay. Yeah, what do you want to turn him into?
A pigeon.
You want to turn him into a pigeon?
Well, no. I want to polymorph him into a animal we won't feel guilty about. Like a goldfish.
Okay.
A red goldfish.
Okay. Is that a saving throw?
That is a wisdom saving throw.
Perfect. That's exactly what we like to hear. Do I have advantage because this is a thing that is attempting to change my form. So I roll 2d20 and take the higher one. I get a 9.
Spell save DC is 16.
Well, then I turn into a goldfish. And a goldfish just flops onto the ground and sort of starts...
Nice. Hey, is that gonna die without water? Because then it's just gonna come back as what it was before.
Yeah, I know, but it gives us time. Do you want to run?
All right.
You could also, if you wanted, toss it into the water.
Yeah,
There's literally water around.
I'm gonna pick it up and just throw it as hard as I can into the water.
Punt it!
I like it, yeah. Absolutely. So it lands, and you hear a plop as the goldfish lands in the water. Yeah. Success.
All right, run for it.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So you guys make it down the stairs, and you see the same image that I just described to Thomas. These passageways made of glass, sort of weaving like a web underneath the city, and these palatial towers reaching down into inky depths, and dark lands beneath you, disappearing into the depths. Simultaneously, you happen to see, in one direction, the goldfish turns back into a gargoyle, but can't swim. And you see the gargoyle start to sink deeply into the water. You hear a screech as its clawed hand tries to grab one of these massive tubes of glass. And you hear and see the scratches upon it. But it just can't hold on. And it falls down.
Oh no. That happens.
Yeah, it really did, didn't it?
And while this is happening, I'm covering Buzzball's eyes.
Oh my god, this poor baby!
He could have been chilling with his Mima, but no.
Buzzball's like covered.
Yeah.
We're good. It was just a goldfish, an angry goldfish.
So Lady Gianna has instructions as to how to get to her place if that's where you're heading.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she gives you instructions. It's a little bit of ways away from this main entrance, but you find your way to her place. And again, it's this relatively gorgeous building that reaches down rather than up. Probably about 10 stories. And there are guards standing out in front. And one of them looks at you. It's an elf. And she says, what are you, doing? Stand and disclaim your name, or self, whatever.
I'll just be like, there are cards. Okay, my name is Sandra, and this is D.
That's me, D.
And, what are you doing here? Do you have business?
Yeah, definitely.
With who?
And let's see, she calls herself Strega?
Lady Gianna sent you?
Yes.
I'm sorry, my lady. Bows.
Oh.
And then just like gestures to the door. Of course, whatever you need. We've kept it all in perfect condition for you. If you need your apprentice, she's locked herself in her room again, but she's still eating, so that's good. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
My apprentice. Did they say your apprentice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Lady Strega.
Like looking at Cass, like, what the heck? Okay, so
Just
we
roll
go
with
in.
it.
Yeah. So you enter. It feels like a noble's estate, but underground. Very nice furniture. Everything is very decadent. This is clearly someone who lived well. One of the guards from the front door, now that you're entered, just sort of comes in and walks behind you, but sort of bows like several times, then like turns and runs, and then like returns maybe 4.5 seconds later with a tray and glasses and a bottle of wine, and just like runs full speed towards you, holding them carefully, and then sort of just holds them out to you.
Thank you. You said that my assistant,
your apprentice,
hasn't been eating?
She's in her room.
How is she physically?
Well, since you've been gone, she hasn't been the best, but we've kept her off the drugs like you asked.
Thank you. And I just look at Cass like, is there something different with me? Like, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna check on the apprentice, I guess.
And not to bother you, my lady, but does your is this companion of yours someone that we should be expecting regularly here? It's just so we know.
We should be long here.
Okay.
We
D,
should be only
you
here
are on the
briefly.
list.
Oh yeah, I'm on the list.
Yeah, we are on a bit of a time crunch at the
Of course,
moment,
if there's
so I
anything that you need
appreciate-
help with, please just let us know. We are all happy to do whatever it is that you ask of us. Of course.
Yes. All right. Thanks.
So
What?
so they think you're her.
I don't know why I said I was here on her orders.
Let's just I think this is great. Let's do what we came here to do first.
And then we'll check on the apprentice?
Yeah, then we'll check on the apprentice and hope that nothing else goes wrong.
Okay,
Because I feel like if anything were to go wrong, it will be with the apprentice.
Oh god, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is horrifying. Everything's bad. I want to be home.
Oh, you're telling me.
Okay, we'll go to the study.
Okay. So you make your way to the study. Finding your way there quite easily. It's well laid out. And in the study, the study is actually a collection of small rooms. One of them is very clearly like a book nook type thing that looks quite cozy and has windows that again look out onto the depths of the ocean. One of them, though, is clearly a ritual chamber.
Oh.
It's got paint, red paint on the floor. It's got all sorts of spell ingredients. It's got candles of various sorts. It's got that scent that if you use too much incense in a room for too long becomes like a permanent scent of the room. It's got sort of that vibe. There's a cabinet there, and on the cabinet there is it's closed right now and seems locked, but on the desk of the cabinet there seems to be the top part of a human skull, just sort of resting there. Yeah.
Okay. Juno, first things first, is gonna just like open the book up. And number 1. What? Number 2. Seriously, what? Number 3, they think I'm you? 5 question marks. Number 4, your apprentice is still alive? Extra question marks, exclamation marks, and then, oh yeah, we're in the study.
She is.
Apparently she's not eating, but she's alive.
She cut herself off from me. This is not an exchange for anything, but I would consider it a kindness if you checked on her.
We were planning on it.
Have you made steps in removing Mazzatir?
That's what we're working on. We're working on multiple things at once.
Mm-hmm. I sense your companion has gone to deal with Ogthith. I sense that you have a deal with the Aishe to go to Ogthith. I see that you are being manipulated by the psychic vampires, and yet I do not find my goals any closer.
Well, we just got away from the psychic vampires in order to get here to get more information. The psychic vampires, it doesn't seem like we're ever going to help with Mazzatir.
Very well. Now, begin here. And she starts, lecturing you on the various aspects of this magic. I'm not going to lecture you. But we'll deal with some improvements and some buffs to your spells and abilities and all that good stuff and broaden some things out off camera. Kaz, what are you doing while, there's feverish conversations in a book being written?
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of afraid to touch anything in here, but that won't stop me from looking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's a dark wood stained cabinet that has a skull just sort of resting on the lip of it. There's a desk. The desk is very well carved. There's all sorts of devices and tools. There's crystals. There's powders. There's fleece and steel wool and scratching things. It's a pretty yeah. There's a lot of stuff here, and it's definitely like all meant to be useful.
Okay, well, my first thought is spell components will
Mhm.
always be
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
and I will maybe a little stealthily. It's not that I think she's watching me through the book, but that is also what I think. So I will maybe take anything useful, especially if there's like a useful for my healing magics.
Ooh, excellent. Yeah, 100%. Let's start with an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation. Oh, a 12.
Yeah. There's this weird red stone that's glowing.
Okay.
That just it looks almost like a healing potion. Like it has the same coloration and same shine and sheen.
Mm. But something is off?
No?
Well, you said it almost seems like.
Oh, sorry, because it's a gem, not a potion.
Oh, okay.
It is literally a gem. It has the same color and shading and like light of a healing potion, but instead has like but it looks like a crystal.
Okay. If I pick it up, what's that like? Just like picking it up?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it feels cool and refreshing. In your hands, like it feels like picking up like a nice cool rock or something like that.
Okay.
And unlike a rock, it doesn't heat up in your hands. It stays cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna stash that for further study later on. That's the only thing that catches my eye.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, there's still a skull there.
A skull?
Resting on the wooden desk.
What's up with that?
I mean, it's a skull.
It's just a skull? Yeah, I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, roll a medicine check.
Okay. Medicine. Okay, an 8.
Yeah, you'd say probably human or elf or maybe halfling. Probably not gnome. Probably not dragonborn.
Okay. I don't want to touch it, so I'm just gonna move on. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I guess if they're still talking, I'll probably. Did you say there's books in the room, or did I just?
That's next door. There's books in the room next door. The study is sort of like a suite of rooms.
Okay, then I think while they're talking, I'd probably scan through book titles, see if anything catches my eye.
Yeah. Roll another investigation check for me.
Yeah. Oh no, an 8.
Well, the big book that is obviously going to grab your eye because you have heard Juno speak of it many times is a book written by the Lady of Quality.
Oh. Okay. Well, I found my time filler. I guess I'm gonna read that while they're talking.
Yeah, so you pull it open, and it is signed and dedicated.
That was like 200 years
ago. No way. Okay. I'm going to take that as in I'm just going to take it, start reading it.
Yeah, sure. Beautiful. Excellent. Juno. At some point while you're doing this studying, Lady Gianna's tone sort of changes. it goes from being like a little bit curt to being like slightly respectful. Not like hyper respectful. She's still very, whatever, but she has this moment and she says to you, you actually have more power than I thought.
Thank you for that assessment.
You might be able to pull off a bit of magic for me that would erase your debt.
My debt. Oh, to you.
Yes. Rather than dealing with Mazzatir, of course. Not in addition.
What kind of magic are we talking about?
I find myself in want of a new body.
Yep.
I'd need someone of power and significance to capture an appropriate body and stitch my shadow back to it.
Okay. Now that seems to be in line with the corruption thing.
Well, I am a shadow now because of my corruption.
I know, but stitching someone's soul onto another person's body seems to be a good way to go straight into Corruption Town.
See, you are learning. Yes, I would normally agree, but there is... And, of course, you dabbling in corruption wouldn't bother me at all. I've done it myself many times and come away unscathed. It's only this last time that's been a real problem for me. But you not wanting corruption, I can respect that. That's a reasonable decision. We all don't want corruption until we realize the power that it offers us. So, normally I would say yes, but there is one body here on this city that would not cause corruption of any sort.
Is this your apprentice?
No, sadly. Though, of course, she's right upstairs, and I find her very agreeable. I'm sure you could arrange for that if you wanted, if you were willing to accept the corruption. No, sadly, the Aishe.
Ah.
I'm not demanding. You still have the option of dealing with Mazzatir if that's the more pleasurable option to you. But this might be easier. And, well, certainly I can't object to having a body again. Hands to hold things. A tongue to taste. I used to love wine. I haven't had wine in quite some time. Think on it.
Yeah, Juno's not going to respond to that. She's going to just move straight on to the next subject.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good.
But she's also like going to look up if Kaz is in the area and be like, she's going to make a gesture of like, plateauing and then downward spiral.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Just to give her that idea of how it's going.
I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna assume that I'm gonna jump up with my sword ready, but of course it doesn't do anything.
No. And then she's gonna make an explosion sound, but then just like gesture at her head.
Even more frantic.
Okay.
Raising my sword above her head. No, just kidding. I don't do that.
I love it. Oh, it seems appropriate. I love it. Okay, let's jump back to Thomas, who's meeting with Ogthith.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't. Okay.
So Ogthith looks at you, and then snaps his fingers, and a very human servant, not tattooed, not a fiend, comes shaking in and just lays this platter of food on the table between you guys. Mostly meats and fruits. And Ogthus just sort of picks up a hunk of meat and takes a bite out of it and says, "So the chain sent you."
Sorry, I'm like getting myself together mentally because this was like a plan F or J or whatever plan Hardiston always dies in. Yes, currently he finds himself in a situation not entirely to his liking. And of course, there are a limited number of capable creatures in the Shimmering Seas who have a certain reputation for like-mindedness that he would be willing to work with.
I didn't think that he would reach out to me, of all people, though, considering how we've argued and fought and pushed for such different approaches to, well, everything.
Well, who was he to turn to? Some tree in Sonera.
Oh, man. She's still standing out there, judgy people.
More or less. It's harder for some than others to turn over a new leaf.
Oh.
I'm like someone who's spoken to her, turning over leaves and whatnot. He spits and his spit sizzles on the floor. So, Chain finds himself desperate for help.
I believe I said desperate.
And oh, you didn't need to.
God.
And sends you to negotiate with me for something to help him. How'd you get through the maelstrom? Chain doesn't have that kind of power.
If mortals such as myself weren't capable of surprising things, creatures like the Chain would have no reason to treat with them.
No. That works on the Chain. Can't pull that on me. Maelstrom is locked. Set. It's locked there. Set. We were promised it, and the magic that sealed it was put there by the Empress herself. Mazzy and I were owed this place.
But the Empress is immortal herself, or was, despite her aspirations to the contrary. And it's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? I mean, the world knows her now as a villain, a madwoman whose lust for power exceeded her reach, but
Yeah.
those with a real interest in the true histories of this world have come across information that's led her to become more renowned as she truly lived her life. Someone who was able to trick and deceive a couple of powerful threats to secure the safety of her kingdom by locking them away behind a storm.
He's like putting like two and two. At first, he seems so confident because he's like you're saying, oh yeah, she's famous for going crazy and whatever, and he's like, yeah, that was me. I drove her crazy. I'm the one who did it. Yeah, roll a deception check.
Oh my god.
What the heck?
What the heck?
I'm hearing like a ringing or something like popping off.
Mm.
I don't hear it. Sorry, maybe something is weird on my computer or something.
That is certainly possible.
21.
Hey, what? She didn't lock us up like we're some sort of prisoner? No. This was a gift. We got all these tasty people, and there was nothing the throne could do about it.
Why would the throne want to do anything about it with one more threat to her well-being, her reign, the reign of her heirs secured permanently? I mean, you'll run out of people here eventually. Rulers have done worse than sacrifice one city for the good of their land.
250 years we get. We got plenty of time left.
And how long will it take before every mortal in this city has been strung out or struck mindless or otherwise rendered useless to the two of you? Will you turn on each other then and cement her victory once and for all?
No. We got plans. See, we've stopped with the whole cult thing. It was fun for a while, don't get me wrong, but we're gonna disappear for a while. Just let them work it out for a while. Let them have a chance. We're just gonna provide gifts. Give them food. Give them resources so they can live. Watch them build up their hope a little bit. And then we're gonna negotiate how we wanna tear them down again. We want whole generations of people brought up in fear of us. Right?
You can see how on a surface level that would be appealing for a short time, but how long do you intend to disappear for? A generation?
250 years. Oh.
Another.
No. Sorry, I missed. Yeah, just a generation or two. These people have provided the entertainment for a while. They're about worn out. Most of them have lost all their hopes. There's nothing more for us to do or engage in, so it's just let them rebuild it for a generation or two. Watch them come back, and then tear it all down again.
You realize that's a trick you can only really do once.
Why?
I mean, assume roughly a quarter of the population that's left still harbors any kind of hope. Just this day, I was speaking with a denizen of the city who confessed to me that they're certain that everyone here is bound for death and it's only a matter of time. And
well, they were right, aren't they?
yes, no, quite a wise perspective on this situation, which says to me that whatever methods you two have been employing and whatever you continue to employ, it's wearing thin already. If 25%, let's be generous, let's say half of the population still holds out hope that there's some sort of escape from this, or that if you disappear, they would really buy that you were just gone forever with no reason, and then you're back. And maybe a generation of children has been born and they've been raised on nightmarish tales of demons. They still haven't been able to escape the maelstrom. They know no other life than cowering in fear and the nobility of the city that are left. Do you really think they're going to let the majority of people out there rebuild? No, they'll still be living in fear. So when you return, it's only a transition from you to fear of the nobles to fear of you again.
Roll a persuasion check.
11.
I don't know what you're getting at. That seems like you are clearly not the chain. The chain understands how time works, right? That's one of the great powers of imprisoned people, is that you know how time works. So, like, whatever. What does the chain want anyway? You're not here to just give me bland advice about how I'm gonna rule my domain that I own.
Oh no, of course not. I'm sure that Mazatir will eventually succeed in pushing you out, or you him. And then you'll
Don't
sit
you
here
get
atop
it?
your little pile of rocks in the middle of the sea,
We're
just as
in
trapped as
this
ever.
together. Mazatir's my bud. We just thought it'd be fun to play war with all our little dolls.
You do know it's been 250 years since you've been locked in here.
What? No, it hasn't. 60.
No, it very much has. I mean, I can't really offer you.
Why would you lie? What do you have to gain by lying? What are you doing? What are you saying? What does
Would
the
you
chain
pay?
even want? Just tell me what you want.
What the chain wants. And Mazatir can take or leave. I was supposed to offer the same to him, but quite honestly, I grow depressed of this city. He wants to help you evade your shackles, the storm out there fencing you in, fencing time and magic and all of your resources in here to this little island of a city, in exchange for helping him evade the trap that he is having difficulty puzzling through himself. He can escape provided he has enough time to work on it, but as you have so helpfully pointed out yourself, time is of the essence and a precious thing.
Roll persuasion again.
12.
The chain is imprisoned. That's your story. That's why he's here. He needs help bending a couple of bars, and he sent for you. He sent you through a maelstrom to me. Stop lying. And he eats another, like, goat leg whole.
Well, I would say that, I would invite you to read it off with me, but honestly, if you're not welcome to new ideas, and just for the record, just because I know I said pride wasn't a factor, but let's be professional here. It's not a trap. He could easily find his way out in a couple of decades. I mean, yeah, maybe 5 months, give or take. But he doesn't feel like waiting, and if you don't feel like seizing a business opportunity, because with his reach and evasion of the maelstrom while your rival is stuck here with his little toys, you could find a good half of the Shimmering Seas enslaved in just as much time. But that's fine. If you don't want to reach out your hand and take it, that's very well. I'll go to
I can't
Mazatir.
beat the throne.
The throne is no more.
What?
The Hydra throne has crumbled. Some centuries ago, I told you, roughly 250 years, every once in a while a pretender will crop up, a grey tiefling who's trying to make something of themselves based on the genetics, but...
Wait, the Hydra throne is no more? Who's in charge? What's in charge?
I don't bother with many details about Tawan. I know that more or less everyone powerful
No. Who's
there
in charge
is
of the Shimmering Seas?
Independent nations, really. They've all kind of split up into chunks.
What happened to the capital city? Who runs that?
Not really a history buff.
You are immortal. I thought you were just like taking a guise, but you're just immortal.
Some of us are more intelligent than others. We know how things lie.
Hydra throne is broken. Huh.
So many countries distracted and warring with each other. Seems what they really could use is a firm hand. If only there was someone who were an expert in subjugating unsuspected masses.
Roll persuasion.
Come on, dude, you can do it. Oh,
That's an 11, a 12, and a 13.
So you're telling me that you've got a secret way out of the maelstrom that could get me out, but would leave old Mazzy in here. And you'll show it to me in exchange for helping the chain become free.
On a slightly more expedient schedule.
Well, I have a way out of the maelstrom. I've been reluctant to use it, and I haven't really felt a need to use it because, well, I only got one use left, and I can't use it again after that. It's causing some mighty rare substances. And that's what you're after.
I have it on a measure of authority. Again, I'm not sure how reliable the general populace is in this beaten down city. But I have it from someone that the creator of powerful magic items is still about somewhere.
Yeah, but the resources. The
What
resources are the
resources?
problem.
I think I missed it.
The resources are a problem.
What
He can
resources?
make powerful quills. The quill will still have its magic, and it can write. But it won't be powerful anymore, not without the ink of stars.
Well, you know what you do when your well runs low. Call for a new one. You don't throw out the quill. How did this ink of stars come to be obtained in the first place?
The Hydra throne is gone. Well, you're immortal, so I'm going to speak to you like you're immortal. So, you live in the Shimmering Seas, and this is on a planet called Isaim, but you can see the moons right above, right? But that whole thing is protected. Keeps people in, keeps people out. It's a thing. They call it the covering.
It's down now.
sorry.
This is the second or third time you've caused this person to be speechless in one conversation.
On
So
the occasion that I'm here on business for my master, I'm going to try to keep the sarcasm to a minimum. But if you could speak to me as though I were possibly 10 years old as opposed to 5, we might get there a little faster.
So, you know about worlds beyond this one?
Mm.
You know about the Empire, about the Arcane, about the Neogi?
Mm.
Do you know about stars? And the gems? When a star gets old, sometimes it collapses in upon itself. It becomes a substance, a very powerful substance that sucks everything around it in. And I mean everything. Magic, light, flesh, everything. It eats it and devours it like a hungry gaping maw. Once, long, long, long ago, there was a person, shall we say, who was interested in these things and studied them and figured out how to capture part of that substance. See, before this person, people thought that these things were nothing. The nothing that eats at everything. But he, or she, or they, we don't know, was able to bottle it, to capture the nothing. And this nothing is called star ink, one of the rarest substances in existence. And it is that will allow the quill to do what you want it to do. We only have enough star ink for one more request. So do you have a way out of the maelstrom that doesn't involve the use of the quill?
I think something can be arranged.
Then I think we can arrange a deal. And he smiles with his sharp silver teeth. And I think that's what we're going to call it, guys.
Nothing is going wrong at all.
Everything's going super fine.
Yay.
Everything's good.
You know, nobody ever tells demons not to make deals with Thomas.
You know, someone really should at some point. I'm just saying. I'm gonna remember that. Cool. No problem. Let's hand out some points
Yeah.
and all that good stuff briefly. Bam. What are we doing here? Ooh, looks like we're doing well. Okay. Learn anything about Magli?
Wait, who's she?
Yes,
Go for
we
fake?
did.
Yeah?
Because Oceana.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
100%. I'll take it. Go Oceana, thank you. Okay. Did you oh gosh, I remember my questions. I wrote these. I know how they work. There we go. Did you express your character's class, species, or background in a meaningful or impactful way? Thomas, do you want to nominate someone?
Yes, absolutely. Kaz definitely was very paladin-y, trying to do a protect for Juno, and also, you know, health spell experimentation, health spell research. She attack and protect.
Absolutely. Kaz, can you say something about Juno?
Juno, absolutely, I can. I mean, why this whole adventure off into this
Mhm.
this layer is thanks to her experimentation with magic of intent.
100% true. And Juno, can you say something about Thomas?
Oh yeah, Thomas is using all of his skills as an orator and kind of moving people around and convincing people as his job on this demon.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's nothing literally in the world more warlocky than negotiating with a demon. I love it. Excellent. Did you overcome a meaningful obstacle or impediment to your character? Juno, we'll start with you.
I don't know.
I'll send you more information, but I think the answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
I think learning more about the magic of intent counts.
Yeah.
Am I doing this right? Yes. Yes. Okay. What about Thomas? I'm not saying you didn't create new impediments for your character, but did you
Yeah, I
overcome any
know.
first?
I'm like thinking about like the letter of the question.
Yeah, do it.
That's all conversation.
I mean, I'm really not sure.
Totally fair. Maybe no.
Well, I don't know, but maybe yes. Like, I think after this episode or this game or whatever we're calling them, he's pretty much at the point where he's going to be a lot more comfortable with Oceana, both personally and talking shop. But I think that as far as today goes, and like,
I'm going to push back.
Oh yeah.
Because I think you did overcome that obstacle impediment, right? Oceana's been purposefully like misleading you and not telling you about her plans, and you got her to open up about her plans today.
That was what I was gonna say. Like, I know I've mentioned this in the past because it's been like a long-term struggle with him, even like backstory wise. So like after this point, like I probably wouldn't count that as something that's a struggle because it is starting to come more naturally. But I think for today, he was still kind of trying to like bend over backwards to provide support for her and also like broach difficult topics of conversation. So for today, I think yes.
I totally 100% agree. Kaz, what about you? Did you overcome an obstacle today?
Not this time. I think there's something brewing that will become more apparent in the later sessions.
Ooh, I'm excited to find out more about that.
Ooh.
I'm excited. Kaz, obviously, I don't know what your belief is, but
it's the same as I put it in the Discord. It wouldn't have changed. It was about basically just the gist was keeping the other two safe. And the thing about that is, I think for Kaz, that was very literal and to the point. And so I would say she actually failed at this belief because Juno got injured.
There you go. Wow, I love that. Okay, excellent. A failure of a belief. Intriguing. Juno.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah,
I got into the study.
100%. And Thomas.
He worked towards it in the sense that part of my 12-step plan to ingratiate himself with our Dwarven Smith friend was to acquire a personal object that might help him break through to him. So he definitely worked towards it in getting the hammer from the smithy. However, it's probably going to fall by the wayside because everything has been kicked up to 110 and things are probably going to accelerate from here on out.
I would love you to meet Fearless, so I hope that it doesn't accelerate beyond that. Do you feel like you got to know their character better? Because if so, we should hand out that inspiration, because I keep on forgetting about that. But let's bring that back for now. Juno, do you feel like you got to know someone better? Who did you get to know better?
I feel like I got to know both of these people better through this experience, but we got to know Kaz better regarding her response to Bebe.
Yeah.
Adventures in babysitting.
I love it. I totally agree. Excellent. Take that inspiration. Kaz, did you get to know anyone better?
I don't know. I feel like I don't. These are both things that are. Everything that's happened is in character for what she knows about both of them.
So nothing really changed. Thomas being self-sacrificing.
Yeah, he's been like that.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Thomas, did you get to know your friends better then?
Just like that rewinding in my head. I think actually, yeah, I think he's surprised that Juniper is. I hate to keep going back to the child, that Juniper is developing a bond with this baby, because like she seems pretty like self-focused as a student and pretty independent, and she's like really getting into this little drooling, diaper wearing iteration of Fuzzball, and like singing it lullabies and like manifesting this whole other side of her, which is Juniper with the small fragile thing.
Juno was never allowed to, like, you know, have pets or that's
sad.
Yeah, Mela definitely never had pets. Beautiful. Yeah, feel free to add that. I love it. It makes sense to me. And with that, I think we will call it a day. Thank you all so much for watching. Please go take care of yourselves and the people around you as best you can. I think that's very important. We appreciate it. And check out some of our other content on the other days that we stream. And go live good and happy lives. And as always, the most important advice that I can possibly give you is don't forget to call your cat and feed your mother. Bye, everyone.